recognize, honor, and induct goaltender of your 2013 Kelly Cup champion Reading Royals, Riley Gill, on hand with family tight in that pregame ceremony presented by our friends at DMB Construction. Gill played a part 2 of his 8 professional seasons with the Royals, registering 29 wins with a 188 goals against average, 935 save percentage, and 3 shutouts in 50 regular season games. And among all-time Royals goaltenders, regular season games played, he ranks 2nd in goals against average, 3rd in save percentage, ties for 6th in shutouts, and then his playoff accolades as well as a Royal, accumulating a 14-5-1 record, 249 goals against, 917 save percentage in 20 playoff career games. In the Royals purple, black, and silver, Gill holds the record for most playoff wins at 14 and shutouts as 4 on hand to be inducted as the 19th member of the Wall of Honor tonight, Matt.
Yeah, it was an awesome ceremony here to have Ryan Gill and his family out, or Riley Gill and his family out here to, celebrate everything that was going on as well. And I like the shout out he gave to his Western Michigan Broncos, who are competing in the national championship. It was a great ceremony, and to hear from Riley Gill and just talk about the Royals' memories from that.
Wonderful to have that. Now it's time to get to the second show of the night, and it is, after all, a must-win game for the Royals. Both teams playing game number 71 of 72 to the regular season schedules. For the Royals, they must win tonight and tomorrow to clinch the final spot in the North Division standings. For Worcester, the formula is simple. Win one of the 2, you are in, and you're taking that last seat at the dance. Certainly tall order for the Royals, but it begins tonight here on home ice, and that's where they'll play both games this weekend. With that, a look at the lines set to go for the Royals, looking to work in a victory. Tonight, it is Mason Primo centering the first line. A 7th straight game he'll skate with Matt Brown and Jake Smith. Ivan Mongo centers the second line. He'll skate with Joe Nardi and Matt Miller. A bit of a shuffle to the second and third lines. Miller staying, Mongo and Nardi bumping up. It's Tyler Grant and Ryan Label dropping to the third line. They'll be the second center and third wing, respectively, while Cam Cook will skate back-to-back games for the Royals. Austin Asher, he centers the fourth line with Nick Capone and Shane Seller. On the back end, Gianfranco Casero skates with Sam Sedley, a 40th game this season. They pair as a tandem. Robert Calisti, he's got 3 goals in 4 games. He'll be a second pairing with Connor Walters, while Logan Britt and Emil Chenard round out the back end for the Royals. It's 12 forwards, 6 defensemen. Reading scratches tonight. Number 2, Robbie Stucker. Number 3, Tony Malinowski. Number 7, Nick Harriman. Number 17, Todd Skirving. Number 19, Patrick Bykov. Number 27, Jack Bucco. Number 39, Connor McMiniman. And number 57, Mitch Dielstra. Moments away from getting this one underway. As for the Royals, those are the lines. Matt, a look at the starting lines for both teams here tonight, beginning with the visiting Worcester Railers, who come into tonight with a record overall this season, 34-29, 3-4, 2 points ahead of Reading. Their magic number sitting at just 2.
Yeah, so it'll be Anthony Kalin centering the line of Anthony Rapace, as well as Cole Donhauser. And on the back end, it's going to be Griffin Luce and Connor Welsh. And then starting in net will be Michael Bouillon. And then for the Royals, it's going to be Von Mongo centering with Matt Miller and Joseph Nardi on his wings, Sam Sedley and Gianfranco Casaro on the defense.
And look at the starting lines for both teams. Michael Bouillon getting the start for Worcester. We'll take a look at Reading starting netminder after we honor our nation with the national anthem here at Santander Arena ahead of puck drop tonight. back in Berks County after a 5-game road trip. The Royals go back into home ice where they are in need of a victory tonight to keep their aspirations of playoff hockey here in Berks County this month alive. And it comes together with a Royals lineup set to go 12 forward, 6 defensemen in front of Keith Petrozelli, who gets the nod for the Royals tonight. A record of 12, 16, 4-0 for Petrozelli, a 3.14 goals against average, 900 save percentage. It's his 9th start since his 3rd loan to Reading from Lehigh Valley back on March the 7th. He has split those prior 8 starts in goals with a 906 save percentage. It's his crease tonight as he steps in between the pipes to say, will you get 7 to your dream home with Next Home Brandywine Wine? Dan Peasy and the Next Home Brandywine Wine team giving you the real estate experience equivalent to the thrill of winning the Kelly Cup. Dan's team can help you with residential or commercial. Just check out their nationwide referrals available. NextHomeBrandywine.com. Be sure to mention the discount code SCORE. Tell them Eric sent you. Dan Peasy and the Next Home Brandywine team saying tonight, let's go Royals. A win and you are on to tomorrow for a winner-takes-all Royals and Railers. Folks, sit back, try and relax, and enjoy. We are underway in downtown Reading. Both teams coming together, a matchup for the first time since January. A victory for Worcester over Reading. Early tap, and goal, scores! Mongo sets up Miller. Royals strike, 11 seconds, and they're on the board.
Yeah, no better way you can start this game for the Reading Royals, Eric. Von Mongo shot the puck right off the pads, almost a rebound pass right to Matt Miller, who put that one into the wide open net. And the Royals jump out to an early lead, 1-0, 11 seconds in. And there's no better way you can start a game here.
14th of the season for Miller, and the roof ready to blow off this place as the goal is announced. Mongo with his 5th assist in his return to Reading, skating in game number 14. That's 5 assists for Mongo in his last 5 games played, and for Miller, that is quite the feel-good goal, not only giving Reading the early lead 11 seconds into play, the fastest goal into a game for the Royals this season, but it's Miller snapping a 7-game scoring drought and picking up his 14th tally of the year.
Yeah, no better time to score that goal for Miller. Getting the Royals up early here is huge, especially in a game that feels almost like a Game 6 playoff game here.
And for Reading, it's early lead that is built in front of Petrozelli. Yet to see a shot here through a minute and change, and down behind the net of his goal is Reading skating right to left, sporting the orange sweaters tonight, purple numbers on the backs and sleeves, black helmets and pants. And it's Worcester left to right skating. First shot towards the net, beckoned away as a stick from Walters bends it off. Shot whistled high and wide from Matthew Copperrood, the Denver native. Sticked out the center. Royals have numbers 2-on-1. Master with Brown. Master winds, fires. Saved by Michael Bullion, who has seen 3 shots in the opening 2 minutes of play. The first of the night beating him. He tops the ensuing second, and it's Reading high gear early with a 1-0 lead and are commanding court here early.
Yeah, important save by Michael Bullion right there. You don't want to go down 2-0 before you even hit the 2-minute mark. But the Royals are definitely going to need to score another goal here, because the Worcester Railers are very comfortable playing in 1-goal games, as they have a record of 23, 3, 4, and 3 in 1-goal games. So they're comfortable there.
Both teams amongst the tops in the league in those 1-goal game scenarios. Reading having a 8-game point streak snapped in their loss over the weekend to the Wheeling Nailers, as Reading coming into tonight dropping each of their last 2 affairs, 3 of 4 overall, leaving some points on the table, and has brought them into must-win hockey in the 2 final games of the regular season. An early start gives a Miller strike 11 seconds into the game that has Reading in the driver's seat. Master fires a shot, trickles over the goal. Worcester left to right in the white tops, navy helmets and pants, navy numbers on the backs and sleeves, skating as the ECHL affiliate of the New York Islanders. A slot pinballing puck out of the reach of Nick Capone, who finishes a check on his way to the bench as he connects with Tyler Coburn, the former Royal. Skated 2 games in the 22-23 season, joins the likes of former Royal Jordan Kaplan, who played 3 games in that same 22-23 season. Both have been prime factors to the Railers' offense as of late. A club entering the night on a 3-game point streak. However, they have scored the game's opening goal in each of their last 4. That comes to an end here tonight, icing against Reading, and will give Worcester an offensive zone draw, yet to put a shot on Petrozelli.
Yeah, the Royals came out on fire here. Their goal is going to be to keep this pace up, the Royals, because right now Worcester doesn't seem to be able to match that pace. So it's going to be on the Royals to keep that fast, aggressive pace going here and really make the Railers work.
To Petrozelli's left, Ryan Leibold leans in at the draw with the aforementioned Jordan Kaplan. Played last season with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. It's a career-high year for the Bridgewater, New Jersey native. He had an assist in his 3 games with Reading 2 seasons ago. Found his way to Worcester to conclude that campaign. Played all of last year with Savannah, and this year has just hit a stride. 48 points in 66 games. And also leads all Railers in penalty minutes with 106. So Kaplan bringing an extra bite to his play as a hard check delivered right on cue. Kaplan connects with Ivan Mongo and sends him crunched into the near boards. Railers dig it away and flick out the center. Pass picked up by Callisti. The D-man backhands to Mongo, who gets back to his feet, but Nardi just a step in too quick by a whisker. Royals offsides.
Yeah, going back to Jordan Kaplan, no better player to have who can throw the body, take penalty minutes. You'll live with those penalty minutes if he's putting up the points he is this season. Right there, Royals just a step offsides, but so far the Royals really controlling the pace of this game, and Worcester's been on their heels.
Looking to control the pace of play and also control one Anthony Rapace. 81 in white, leads all Railers in goals at 27 and points at 63. Those 63 points ranked 13th best in the ECHL among all skaters. Reading has held him silent as the 30-year-old from Toronto is pointless in his last 2 games, but a beast that is just waiting to wake up, and the Royals looking to keep him silent tonight.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep an eye on Anthony Rapace as he can score at any moment, any given time here. And the Railers are a team who are known for scoring. They give up a lot of goals, but they also score a lot of goals. So you're going to really have to be on your toes against this team.
Out the center ice, Reading able to keep it in the zone. It's Nardi, backhand intended for Miller, picked off, and a finishing drive by the Leo, Indiana native. We'll keep a Railer down behind the play, and a cross-ice check delivered. That's Sedley, crossing the paths of Kaplan, and sends the former Royal to his wallet. As the defenseman for the Royals out of St. Mary's, Ontario, with a hard check, and it's Rapace bulldozing his way into Petrozelli. Made the save, then received a hard shoulder from the Railers captain after the shot was lifted. Was lended towards the crease by Reading's defenseman at 6'5", Emile Chouinard, and it's going to be Rapace taken to the box. This will be a goaltender interference minor penalty against the Railers, and the Royals with a game-opening goal. Now we'll have the first power play of the night here just 4.5 minutes into action.
Yeah, huge opportunity here for the Royals. A power play that was dreadful for almost the entire month. They've now scored a power play goal in 5 straight games here, the Royals. So their power play's been starting to feel it here in recent times, and a huge opportunity to jump out to an early 2-0 lead here, Eric.
Stepping onto the ice, opening the month of April, Reading has scored 5 power play goals on their 16 opportunities, a 31% clip on the main advantage among the top 3 teams in the entire ECHL here through April. And a man advantage conversion, and it's that unit that steps onto the ice seeking a 2-goal lead less than 5 minutes into action. It opens with a draw win and a Callisti shot. Banks off the backside of Rapace. Casero cocks back his shot. Out of the stick of Bullion. Made the save, lost his twig. And it's fended back out to center ice. Royals forced to scramble back for it as Bullion recollects himself in between the pipes for Worcester. Right to left, it's Callisti. High slot. Feeds right wing to Casero. Toes, fires a shot. Snap wide right of the net. Off the end boards, floats to Callisti, who lends it back to Casero. Right face-off circle. Skating in behind the goal line. Catch Back and forth with Mongo. Quickly to Brown. High slot, Callisti. Left wing, Primo. Space, fires down low, and a intentional pass set up on the doorstep for Mongo, unable to go tape to tape. And it rolls out the center where the Royals forced to restart with 50 seconds remaining on the IBEW power play. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers electrifying every Royals power play this season.
Yeah, that was a good passing play by the Royals. Just missed the backdoor pass.
Callisti up to Grad. His shot fired over the goal. Reading's leading power play goal scorer with 6 on the season. Fired it high and wide. And a puck will catch a piece of the safety netting over the glass behind Bullion's goal.
Yeah, Bullion looking a little shaky here early on. That one power play shot, had to save it with the knob of the stick, which knocked it out of his hand. So for the Royals' game plan here should just be to keep firing this puck on net and make Bullion work. And the ref's talking about something. I'm not quite sure what.
2 referee system tight. It is Logan Gruhl who worked last Wednesday, last Friday, and this past Wednesday's games. He's been tasked with wearing the orange stripe in 3 of Reading's last 5 games overall. Reading 1 and 2 in those 3 games. Right now he is with fellow referee and Yannick Manso, and it's the linesmen also joining the conference, and David Rositas and Sean Perry, 2 veterans here at South Sandia Arena. And it looks like we have our verdicts. Taking a message over to head coach and general manager Jason Binkley, who has to be quite pleased with the start to his club as Reading scored the game's opening goal for a 2nd consecutive game now, 3 of the last 4. And when scoring first, the Royals a record of 23-6-6, and looking to keep the pace going with a 24th crucial win here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You need to keep that pace going tonight because a loss here eliminates the Royals from the Kelly Cup playoffs. So for the Royals, it's going to be to just keep up that momentum, keep playing the game they've been playing, because right now they've looked really good, and keep making Bouillon work, and goals will come. Wonder what they were talking about.
Everything at least handled. It should have been a conversation on where this face-off should be had, and they had both Jason Binkley and Worcester's bench boss and Nick Tizzolino giving the message, and we're back to play with Reading taking the offensive zone draw left side of Bullion. But Worcester winning it back, and ultimately will come as just a clear down the ice as Petroselli handing off to Sam Sevely. Gets the legs churning, and the defenseman now tying with Matt Brown for the team lead in points entering the night, each with 36 on the year. Sedley, the facilitator of Reading's roster, 30 assists, leading all Royals. Smith snaps it right wing where Nardi jabs it in behind the goal where Miller is crunched into the boards, able to keep it at his skates. Bend it out, and Rapace out of the box. Now steaming across the blue line. He has a step on Sedley, shot turned away by Petroselli. Just the first shot of the night Petroselli sees comes 6.5 minutes into action, but comes from not only a quality test, but a quality score in Anthony Rapace.
Yeah, the Railers will take Rapace to take that shot 100 times this game. Strong save by Petroselli early on to keep that 1-0 lead here for the Royals.
Chip down the ice. Worcester will flick it. A home run pass at Reading's blue line is scooped up first by Callisti. Able to outstride Jordan Kaplan off the left wing. It's Seller into the zone. Royals right to left. Capone into the end with Ronnie Emmy, fellow 14 numbered skaters. And Ronnie Emmy, the young standout product from Sweden, will feed it in front. Wrist shot back at the goal line. Tapped in, scores! Jam in front, Seller! Back-to-back games for the Royals, a 2-0 lead.
Wow, what hard work by Seller right there, and the Royals throw that puck into the crease and just battling it out, and was able to get it by Bouillon. Not sure how that one sneaked through Bouillon, but the Royals up 2-0 here quickly in the first period, Eric.
They jammed, they poked, Seller found the final bounce and beats the 6-foot goaltender, Michael Bullion. In goal, thrown into the slot, shot on the doorstep. Seller able to poke it home under the pad of Worcester's netminder, and Reading firing on all cylinders, a 2-0 lead. Robert Colisti and Austin Master earning the assist on Seller's 12th goal of the season. 3 points in his last 2 games, and Seller now picking up the pace of play after going 10 games pointless before Sunday's snap of the streak, and he is firing as of late in the Royals offense in a must-win game tonight to keep your playoff hopes alive for tomorrow. Can't ask for a better start.
Yeah, no time to get hot for Seller there either. Also, and like you said, great start for the Royals. And for the Royals, just keep shooting on Bouillon because things are working when you're putting the pucks on net here. And the Royals looking good early on here.
7 shots in the opening 8 minutes of action. Worcester held to 2. Jake Smith will chip it in behind the net, where Worcester is able to sweep it out to center ice. Pinched at the blue line by Casera was Tanner Shackle. 1 point in his last 5 games. Skates out the center. And forced back into Worcester territory by Matt Brown. Poke check by Primo. Royals suffocating the Railers in the neutral zone and able to force these turnovers. And it's Primo out on the ice with this first line. Feeds blue line to Sedley. His shot goes wide right on the net. Off the end boards, trickles near corner. Where on top of the puck and airing it all the way down. This will be icing against Worcester was Pito Walton from Peapack, New Jersey. And now we're outside of the Prudential Center, home of the New Jersey Islanders. A couple of New Jersey natives on this Railers club. Jordan Kaplan, Tyler Cobrin, former Royals in the 22-23 season. And it's from Peapack, New Jersey, of Pito Walton skating for Worcester tonight.
The Royals have had a great forecheck going here early on in this game, and they're going to have to keep up that pace as the Railers really have no answer for this aggressive forecheck of the Royals. And
Worcester going to replicate their icing moments ago with a second straight violation after winning the draw, and that will send gray hairs into your head coach's head if those wins, and then you just give it right back over to the opposition, who takes a face-off in Reading, the right side of Bullion, looking to settle things down. A goaltender who has split his last 2 starts and getting his 3rd straight call in goal. It's Hugo Allis, the 6'7" netminder from Sweden, backing up Bullion tonight. And another goal might see Allis make a early series debut.
Definitely possible, and right now the Railers just not able to connect on their passes. Their passing hasn't been clean here to start this game. They've tried to be physical, but they just haven't been able to keep up with the Royals.
A check to Walters, but able to feather this out to center ice, where Nardi feeds back to the Welland, Ontario native off the near window. Walters over the head of Mongo. This will be icing, delivered from the right side of the red line, and a face-off in front of Petrozelli with 10 minutes to go in our first period. 2-0 lead. Royals goals opening up action. It was Matt Miller, 11 seconds into play, beating out Robert Colisti for the fastest goal into a game this season. Colisti had 57 seconds last Saturday in Reading's 5-4 win over Wheeling. And Miller says, we'll get tonight's Pandemonium game off and running, and the long way to return home from the 5-game road trip where Reading went 2-3. Gets things back underway with a great crowd on hand. Master backhand shovels, net front, goes flickering away from Seller. And through the skates of Rapace.
Being able to play these games at home for the Royals is huge at the end of the season against the team you're competing for that final playoff spot. You have your home fans here cheering you on. Gives you a little bit of more of that oomph to really try and get it over the line.
And Binkley mentioned that in his pregame interview. We'll hear from Binkley during the first intermission about the conversation heading into tonight's face-off, and it's all about tonight, not even a focus on tomorrow, as there is no tomorrow if you do not win today, that being for playoff aspirations.
Yeah, one game at a time.
Back to retrieve. Will chip it off the glass, rolls out to center, where pounced on is Kaplan. Back up the near end. It's a backhand from Cook. Feeds one-timer. Saved by Bullion. Right to left, and the left pad kicks away Tyler Gratton's howitzer own goal. And Reading's leading goal scorer held off the board from his 20th of the year.
Yeah, great shot by Grant, and the Railers just lost him coming off the bench on that side, allowed him for a great one-time shot. Good pad save by Bouillon, and a huge save that he needed.
No icing ruled by Davis Rositas as Binkley fired up. Grant turns a shot on goal in the ensuing rush. And a save will lend to an offensive zone draw for the Royals. And our first media timeout met here at Santander. We're in a 2-0 Royals over the Railers. 8:30 to go in our first period of action, continuing after this word from our friends at Jimmy G's Railroad House here on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Jimmy G's Railroad House is your next sports bar destination. Located in Reading, Pennsylvania, Jimmy G's Railroad House is a prominent, friendly neighborhood sports bar serving the Reading area. Take a seat at the bar or outside on the patio and watch the big game on one of their 26 high-definition televisions. Order yourself a melty cheesesteak, flavorful burger, or sample from the wonderful appetizer and drink menu. Don't miss any of our Royals Recon live shows featuring special guests and Royals hockey talk from 6 to 7 p.m. on select Tuesday dates throughout the season. Follow Jimmy G's Railroad House on Twitter and Facebook for more.
Hi, this is forward Matt Miller. Listen to Royals hockey at home and on the go on the Royals Broadcast Network with the Mixler app.
Game opening goal scorer Matt Miller there welcoming us back into Royals hockey here in downtown Reading. A Friday night faceoff, and Reading as good as a start you could ask for. 2-0 lead. 11.5 minutes through our first period. Miller opening the scoring 11 seconds into action, followed by Shane Sellers, 12th of the season. Back-to-back games with a goal at 7:23. Assist from Austin Master and Robert Callisti. For Shane, he had both goals in Reading's 2-1 win over Worcester in the lone time prior to tonight. Both teams met this season.
Yeah, clearly feeling it against the Railers is Seller here. And the Royals just doing a good job early on, just not allowing the Railers to get breaking out of their zone. They have not been able to hit any breakout passes, and that's due to the aggressive forecheck of the Royals, forcing them to make errant passes.
And another offensive zone attack, and cooking around the goal mouth was Jake Smith, who fired a shot off the left shoulder. Oh, Bullion settling things down, up to 10 shots faced here in this first 12 minutes of action. Worcester just 2 shots put on Petrozelli, who in these elimination scenarios, all 6 starts coming in the Kelly Cup playoffs, but in those 6 games when it's a needed win to keep a season going in terms of playoff hopes, Petrozelli 5-1, and it helps when the offense brings some goals in front of them nice and early, and they're doing so. 2 goals, and Petrozelli also in front of them. The defense playing just as sharp.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable start for the Royals, and like you said, nothing's better than when you have a goalie who lives for this moment. He loves playing in these high-pressure games. And having your offense jumping out quickly, 2-0, gives you a sense of confidence and allows you to play the game you need to play to ensure the win.
A .903 save percentage to complement the 5-1 record in 6 elimination game starts for the Wilbraham, Massachusetts native, who throws out a left mitt and a early web gem save. Keith Petrozelli, larceny with the left glove.
Yeah, windmill glove save right there by Petrozelli. And just from that save, you can see he's feeling it early on when you give that little windmill, showing that's right, I beat your best shot. You shoot that all day and I'll beat it. So huge save by Petrozelli here, and that's going to give the Royals, I think, the offense a sense of confidence that they know they can trust their goalie who just made that unbelievable save.
Right down the slot, Rapace pending for the top shelf, but the glove of KP thought otherwise, keeping Worcester off the board. And leading in at the face-off draw is Primo. They'll go toe-to-toe with Lincoln Hatton. Had an assist in Worcester's victory last Saturday, falling in overtime in their latest game on Sunday to the Adirondack Thunder. 3-game series, Worcester taking 5 of possible 6 points, setting them up for just 1 win in these 2 games this weekend, and they are the final seat in the Kelly Cup playoffs of North Division teams. Here's Brown handling the backhand chip down shot from Primo, and up the right wing, Nardi to Primo, Try to feed it net front. Dribbles wide of the goal. Brown will scoop it up. Feed one-timer. Callisti blocked in front. Rapace then gets the legs turning up ice. It's 2-on-2. Worcester. Right wing Callan. Toe drag. Bodied away by Walters, and the puck slipped through Walters' skates and rolled up weakly to Petrozelli. Textbook defensive play while the Royals up ice transition. Mongo's shot runs up the stick. Connor Welsh in front, out of play. 2-0 Royals lead. And they'll take another offensive zone draw in front of Bullion with 6.5 to go in our first.
Yeah, the Royals doing great in defense in the defensive zone. Primo had a great stick early on that blocked that cross-ice pass, which would have allowed for an open net if Petrozelli wasn't able to get over there. And then again, we just saw Walters toe drag there, strong on his stick, poked that one away. It did squeak through his legs, but the Royals just clicking on all cylinders. They have their players backing up for each other and making up for any mistakes that are made. It's like a wall. You break the first panel of the wall, there's another panel right behind it, and it's just been good playing here for the Royals so far.
And a Reading club that looking to respond back to Wednesday's 4-3 loss at Norfolk. Able to bring things interesting late, draw to a 1-goal score with Jake Smith netting his 15th of the season at 42 seconds remaining in the third. And it was the Royals who headed into Wednesday needing to win 2 of 3, unable to make things easier this weekend, and sets them up for back-to-back games here against the Railers. The team holding that final spot, needing to win both. Royals so far, a good response and something Binkley was hoping for. A solid opening 20 minutes, and they're 6.5 minutes away with a 2-goal lead from giving a great start for their bench boss.
Yeah, high pressure here for the Royals, and a good face-off win to start it off.
One back by Miller. Mongo shot. Redirects own goal kick stopped by Bullion. Just 6 foot in frame, and how to use every inch there to deny that Karam shot off the stick of Nardi. In behind the goal of Petrozelli. Callisti twirls in behind the goal, able to stick it to the far side where Nardi feeds out the center. It was Walters who had it, lost it, and back over to the Railers. Rapace snapped up the right wing. He finds Callan, his shot blocked away. Walters step for step once again. Great defense from the former Kalamazoo wing acquired by running back in November. Far side, Walters driving another Railer into the boards. And the puck dribbles out to center ice. Mason Clee, first touch of the night, snaps it net front, missing Matthew Copperroot in stride, the former Sun Devil at Arizona State University, where he led all Sun Devils in goals. The second on that team, Royal Tyler Grattan. Mongo sends a souvenir into the stands. We have ample giveaways tonight for Fan Appreciation Night, but Mongo's going to send a fan home with a well-earned souvenir there. Freezing play with 5.5 to go in our first period. 2-0 Royals in front.
Yeah, it might be the best giveaway you can get off the stick from a player, but seems like the Railers have really kind of settled into the game now. Early on, the Royals came out on fire, and the Railers had no answer to it. Now they've kind of settled it in and have been able to get some more offensive zone pressure, but still the Royals are standing tall in their defensive zone, not allowing any clean looks for the Railers.
And this first period, very important when you look at the goal differential for both of these teams in the opening frame. We had mentioned scoring the game's opening goal has been something Worcester has been all too much of a trend of having, as they had 4 straight before. Miller opened up the scoring tonight, 11 seconds in. Goal differentials, Reading now has 54 goals for to 55 goals against. It's their closest differential, but it's also their fewest goals in a period among all games this season. So you come out firing in the first, it's going to set you up well for the second and the third, where more of your goals have come this year for Worcester. 75 goals allowed in the first period. That is 4th most goals against, and they're showing it here tonight with another 2 allowed to the Royals. Hunting now for a third as they go scrambling around the goal. Bullion able to turn aside. The first shot fends off a second one from distance. Sets a master to Celery, shot blocked away. And the Royals peppering. They're throwing everything. The kitchen sink at Bullion here early. Up to 13 shots. Make that now 14, 15 minutes into action tonight.
Yeah, Yeah, making Bullion work, and that's what I said early on. You have to make him work to make these saves. Don't let him try and get comfortable, and the Royals have done a good job. It seems like he's really been fighting the puck.
And Worcester can't clear the puck. It's out to center. They right back in on the hop. It's Seller from Britt, but behind Seller in stride. Trickles back over to Worcester. Dangles down the right wing. Shot point blank rejection. Tanner Shackle fended off by the Petrozelli pad. 4.5 to go in our first period. And in behind the net, Bullion. Railer is able to sweep this out to center. Kicks away from the reach of Lincoln Hatton. And back up the far side. Callisti's pass to Cook ends up in the Railers bench, drawing a whistle and a neutral zone faceoff with 4 minutes and change left in our first.
It's been a tough first period for the Railers. 5 shots. Haven't been able to get any sustained offensive zone pressure. That's due to the Royals just having strong forecheck and a back check here, not allowing the Railers to get set up. They only had one instance this period where they were really, truly able to set up in the offensive zone.
And we saw there on that last sequence, it's right now almost impossible for Worcester to go tape to tape from their blue line out to center, as it's just that cocoon the Royals are setting up, not even at their own blue line. It's beginning at the red line, and a hit like that, sending a message as well. Cam Cook bulldozing over Ronnie Emmy, a 6'3 defenseman, and Cook puts him on his backside.
Yeah, big guy to lay out like that. Good hit right there by Cook and showing the physical prowess of the Royals early on.
And off that hit, Royals able to take the puck away from the Railers. Right to left, gaining the zone, it was Ryan Labeled. Hard hit from behind, a down Royal. Delayed penalty against the Railers. Cook comes over to get the Railer from off the chest of the down Royal. Now getting back to his feet. It's going to be running back onto the power play as Ryan Labeled tackled like a running back on the gridiron. Was absolutely drilled into the ice and unable to keep his cool. Will be the Railer getting guided to the penalty box along with every fan in attendance. It's Pito Walton. Skating in pro career game number 55, first full pro season, and he shows the rookie edge to his play there.
Yeah, just not a penalty you can take there for the Railers. Team who's been outplayed heavily in this first period, letting the emotion get to him after kind of a collision between him and Liebold, just grabbing him around the head and, like you said, throwing him down like a running back. Just a penalty that should not be taken by the Railers, and I'm sure their coach ain't going to be too happy about that one.
And Liebold also knows what buttons to press. He is not only the pit bull, as Todd Skirving characterizes him as, your Royals captain, who today was also named the ECHL Community Service Award recipient for this season, first in franchise history, as a tip of the cap to Todd Skirving. But for Liebold, he is also a spark plug for this club, and he brings the stocky nature that is not going to get drilled hard onto the ice, and also not lay out as Casero bullet redirection scores. Primo deflection through the 5-0 of Bullion. Royals laying it on early, 3-0 with 3 minutes to go in our first.
Yeah, and another power play goal for the Royals, as they've really seen to get that power play going here. And a huge goal, great tip. Bullion kept his 5-hole open, and that great deflection right there allowed it to go into the 5-hole. And just like that, that mistake that Pito Walton made, throwing himself into the box, Liebold might have had some words for him causing it. But great job by Liebold to get that penalty called, and the Royals jump out to a 3-0 lead here late in the first.
Third goal in 5 games for Primo Casero, earning his 23rd assist on the season, second most, only behind his D partner in Sedley, who has 30, and the Royals 3-0 lead. A first period that is sending a message and setting a tone on a weekend that is must-win hockey for the Royals in the 2-game set. And they are certainly taking this game by the grasp here to get things underway, while also allowing only 7 shots on Petrozelli on the opposite crease of Bullion.
Yeah, the Royals are playing like they want that playoff spot more than the Railers right now. That's kind of what this game feels like, and the Railers really are going to need to step up their game because they have no answers for the Royals. And I wonder if we may see a goalie change in the second period to try and spark life for the Railers.
As Hugo Allis, the backup. Reading has seen the 6'7" native of Sweden once this season, suffering a loss, only scoring 1 goal on a loss in the prior 7 overall games. Up the left wing, it's Capone for a master. Got to tuck it back to his forehand and was blown up from behind by Ronnie Emmy, able to track him down. Railers pursuing left to right on the doorstep. Donhauser squeezing the pads as Petrozelli holds off the shot from the bottom of the right faceoff circle. Stopping play, 1:42 to go in our first.
Yeah, I've noticed the Railers are really trying to work that post side of Petrozelli, but Petrozelli's done a very good job of just hugging that post and not leaving it too early, no matter how many times the Railers have tried to put it over there.
Cool, calm, and collective. And Petrozelli starts with that confidence that just oozes out to the team in front. You talked about that flashing glove save after Reading built up to a 2-0 lead. You have a stop like that, and it has everybody turning to each other on the bench and on the ice saying, hey, he's dialed in tonight. And Petrozelli, one who understands these moments and never the moment too big for him. After all, right here at Santander Arena, we saw it firsthand on the receiving end of it. Game 6 and 7 of the 2022 Kelly Cup Playoff North Division Final Series, where Reading had their 3-1 series lead erased by the Growlers. Petrozelli was in goal for all 3 of those wins.
Yeah, definitely nice to have him on your side now, not on the dark
Say
side
the least.
anymore. So Petrozelli, like you said, familiar to these type of games where your back is against the wall and you have to push through and try and keep it going. And the whole Royals team right now, needing to win both games, have had a great start in this first one.
Leibold will step in at the faceoff right side. Bullion, 1:23. Left in our frame. Worcester going to stack in front of their netminder. Grant set him in the back pocket of Leibold, ready to drive. A faceoff draw win, but it will be changed out for
clean.
Cam Cook.
A little too clean on the win.
Cook, second straight game after missing the prior 12. A healthy scratch. And he picked up a point in his return on Wednesday with an assist after his prior game was back on March the 8th. Binkley turning to some of the experienced skaters, not only this season, as Cook has been a skater that has found ample minutes due to the flurry of injuries and the laundry list of scratches Reading had throughout really the months of November, December, and January. Cook, one of those stories that you get your minutes, you make well use of it, and he is now finding himself in the biggest games of the year amongst the Royals lines.
Yeah, it shows the trust that Coach Binkley has in him, putting him in these must-win games here also.
Nardi will backhand this, and it splits past Kaplan. Miller drives it in behind the goal, goes around the net to the blue line, snaps it down low where Nardi gets the link up. Nardi, backhand goes over the slot and away from Miller. Played out to center by the 26-year-old from Wisconsin, Anthony Callan. Blown up off the puck at Reading's bench, and Binkley leaping up and down. It's the second time we've seen him show some emotion behind the bench on, well, not too pleased with the call, and it's going to be once again Binkley fired up, but not go back to hurt the Royals, who take over puck control with the final 12 seconds ticking down. Here's Brown, cutting net front, angles, puts a shot, saved. Brushed off the left pad of Bullion. Worcester a late sprint, 3 seconds left. Left wing, turning back, throw net front, split through the crease wide, and the horn sounds, ending a dominant first period for the Royals over the Railers. 3-0 lead heading into our first intermission.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for a better first period that the Royals just showed us. They came out firing on all cylinders, and that's allowed them to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And when leading after one, the Royals have a record this year of 15-3-2, so a good team when they're leading after one.
Strong showing and a strong record. Royals will look to build upon that 3-0 lead built on a first period where they doubled the Railers in shots. 16 to Worcester's 8. And a Railers club that is going to have a long conversation in the dressing room, but on their side of things, still 40 minutes of hockey to go, and they are not shy of these come-from-behind efforts, and it comes here against the Royals, where they'll look to buckle down, and as you had alluded to, we'll see if it is in fact Bullion back in goal coming out to begin the second period.
Yeah, it could be also just due to the case where the coach wants to send a message to his players. Nothing against Bullion, but hey, you guys didn't show up so far, and look what happened. We're going to throw in Alice. But we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a lengthy conversation in that Railers locker room as they had the chance. They still have the chance to clinch the playoff spot tonight, but just a horrible first period by them is making it a lot more difficult to get it done tonight.
And for the Royals, it began on Matt Miller's 14th of the season. Fastest goal into a game, 11 seconds for the Royals here on the year, and it was from Mongo and Casero that Miller gave Reading the 1-0 cushion. 7 minutes later, it was Wednesday's game-opening goal scorer in Shane Seller, tacking on the Royals' second goal in the first at 7:23. 12th of the year for Seller, who has 3 points in his last 2 games, while Mason Primo at 16:42 put the cherry on top to a commanding first and gives Reading that 3-0 lead, with Casero and Callisti each earning 2 assists amongst those 3 goals in the first multi-point games already in the books for the 2 defensemen.
Yeah, just doing well job at that point, finding their open players and getting the passes there. Just putting pucks on net, and putting pucks on net is exactly what the Royals have to do, because you never know what can happen when that puck ends up in that crease area.
A great start, and before we got things underway, we heard from head coach and general manager Jason Binkley this morning about the keys to a successful first. He's going to discuss the goals that were checked off the box here in this first period, here in our conversation during our intermission break with Binkley, also with a very special message to all of you, the best fans in the ECHL, as it is Fan Appreciation Night and a Fandemonium promotional game.
Well, we obviously had to travel back from Norfolk there Wednesday night, so yesterday was a light day for the guys, get them recovered, get them refreshed. But this morning, identifying through film, showing them pre-scout what Worcester does, what we can expect to see, how we can combat that with our systems, with our structure. But the big message is we just have to be ready, right? And something that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks is making sure we show up on time and we're ready to start. The first 20 minutes is really all we're focused about here tonight, because we can't worry about anything after that, because that's what comes first. That's what we're identifying, and that's what we have to go after. And to come out here, to come out sharp, to come out prepared, we expect to have a good first 20 minutes, and we can roll from there. But excited to see what we can bring here these last 2 games. It's crazy how it all comes down to this, but we're excited.
And for the start tonight, it will be Keith Petruzzelli, was in goal for your last victory, came last Saturday. For Petruzzelli, he's no shy of these big moments of elimination games. He started in 6 prior in his pro career. He's 5-1, and in fact did so against the Royals in the 2022 Kelly Cup playoffs. Just speak on not only the confidence you have in Petruzzelli in net, but also how important it is to allow Petruzzelli to flourish in goal, and what will be the goals of the defense in front to make it an easy night for him.
Yeah, and with Keith, right, he's got that experience, and something that our team has lacked a lot of this year is that experience. We have guys, a lot of guys, even the guys that have played pro in previous seasons, haven't made playoffs. So to have somebody like Keith kind of leading the charge from the back end, being able to shut it down as the last resort, bringing his calmness, his confidence, his experience is going to be huge for our team, for our locker room, for our bench, for the guys on the ice. It's going to be huge. And for him to have that experiences that you spoke on, being in 6 elimination games over the course of his career, like, it might not seem like a lot, but that really is. And Keith gets the nod tonight, and we have full faith and confidence in him, just like we've had in our goalies all year with Vinny, when Parker's been here, whatever we've had, to shut the door for us. But defensively, we just have to make sure we stay structured, stay detailed. We really have to shut them down early. They like to use the back of the net a lot to switch sides to relieve pressure. So the biggest thing is, one, we're not chasing them behind the net. And then two, when we have our opportunities to shut it down, we make sure we do that and we get the puck out of the zone. Best offense or best defense is a good offense, so hopefully we can play a little bit more in the O-zone tonight.
For tonight, it is a very special one where we take the moment to recognize and pay homage to all the fans that have been on support all season long, and our Fanimonium and Fan Appreciation Night. Just a message to the support all season long, and of course with a rowdy bunch coming out tonight ready to support you in this final 2 games of the regular season and of course beyond.
Yeah, we don't I guess none of us really have jobs if we don't have fans, right? So their support, their time, their energy, their money, from season ticket holders to fans that show up for whatever games they can make, to our sponsors, like, it's all appreciated, it's all huge, it's all important. And you know, those folks are just as invested and committed to the process as we are. And once again, we can't do it without them. And so we're excited to be at home to play these 2 games in front of them and really hopefully give them a good show. And if we can get ourselves involved early, get the fans involved early, I feel good about our chances tonight. So for anyone who's come out, we appreciate it. We thank you. And let's get some wins.
A great conversation there this morning with head coach and general manager Jason Binkley. And starting on time, 11 seconds. That's pretty good there, Matt, as the Royals got off and up in front. 11 seconds into play, Miller with the goal, running a 3-goal lead here after 1. And everything Binkley preached in that morning conversation, shared with the team in the locker room before the puck drop tonight, all coming to fruition in the opening 20.
Yeah, clearly the players heard what Binkley said because they came out ready to play. And just a huge job by Royals and a huge job by Binkley, really taking it, like he said, 1 game at a time. Focus on today to get to tomorrow. Let's not worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today. And the Royals, clearly, they're playing unbelievable hockey starting today, especially when you have 2 defensemen already with 2 points in Gianfranco Casaro and Callisti. So it's just been a good job by the Royals to get their players going, and that's the best part of the Royals. They have a scoring by committee. It's not just one player on their team who's able to put in all the points. Any player on any given day can put in the goals and the assists for the Royals, and they've been on fire.
Callisti with his 4th multi-point game of the year. Casero with his 5th. And that has bolstered Reading's offensive attack from the back end. We heard how important it is from Binkley all season long. They are the facilitators, a part of the opening 3 goals for Reading. It was Miller, Seller, and Primo lighting the lamp in the first. And also a nugget in terms of the record book. You might ask, was that the fastest goal in franchise history? How about 1 second too late was Miller from matching Cale McLean's 10-second goal here at home. The quickest goal into a game in franchise history against Pensacola back in April of 2005. Reading went on to win that game, so good company to be in with is Miller. 11 seconds into tonight's faceoff.
Yeah, almost had it, almost beat it, nearly 20 years later. So that would have been awesome if he was able to, Miller. But like you said, getting a goal 11 seconds in, you're clearly feeling good, you're feeling happy, and they're going into that locker room gunning to get to the second period.
He'll take the goal indeed, and it's the Royals up 3-0, looking to keep things rolling when we return back to action 9.5 minutes away from the second period, commencing here at South Santander Arena. Grab a snack. Join us in a moment here on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
calling all those seeking to buy, sell, or rent, residential or commercial. This is Dan Peasy, owner of Next Home Brandywine, a preferred real estate partner of the Reading Royals. My team has the local knowledge, experience, and honesty that you need to navigate today's market. We can help you find your next home. We have multilingual agents to serve you. If you see me at Royals games this year, let's talk hockey and houses. Mention the discount code SCORE. Visit our website at nexthomebrandywine.com. Let's go Royals!
Today's event is being streamed live and on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flo Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flo Sports sites. That's over 25 sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year. In-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv. Reading Royals hockey is in action with promotional games right in Berks County. Tickets starting at $14 gives you a seat to the high-flying hits, electrifying goals, and fun with Slapshot the whole family will love. Experience a game at Santander Arena on a weekend or weeknight by getting your tickets at royalshockey.com or by calling 610-898-7825 today. Craving something fresh and fast during the game? Stop by the Salsa Burrito stand behind Section 120 at Santander Arena for delicious burritos, quesadillas, and more. It's the perfect spot to grab a quick bite while you enjoy Royals hockey. Try Salsa Burrito today. New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center is the official massage therapist of the Reading Royals. You are living your best life when your mind and body are balanced and healthy. Massage is not just a luxury, it's a way to a healthier, happier life. Visit New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center in Wyomissing today. Judd Firestone Plumbing, your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, Judd Firestone Plumbing's team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every single time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or the bath of your dreams, Judd Firestone Plumbing handles it all with professionalism and care. Call Judd Firestone Plumbing today at 610-678-9080, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind. Swing Evolutions, located right here in Berks County, is the premier indoor golf and sports simulator. With over 8 bays and access to more than 1,000 courses, is the perfect spot for everything from hosting a party to enjoying a fun day out. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just looking for something different to do, Swing Evolutions has you covered for a great time. Learn more and book your outing at swingevolutions.com. Berks Foods is the official hot dog of the Reading Royals and will be grilling up fan favorites all season long. Berks Foods has been making premium quality franks, sausages, and deli specialties for over 89 years. Berks hot dogs features nothing but the finest ingredients, 100% premium cuts of beef and pork, the perfect blend of seasoning and spices, and absolutely no fillers, no MSG, and is also gluten-free. When you eat a Berks, you're eating the best. Berks Foods is proud to be the official hot dog of your Reading Royals, and you can find them at your local supermarkets and visit them at www.berksfoods.com. Berks, the best in the business. The best mascot in the ECHL, Slapshot, paid a visit to Berks Career and Technology Center to check out their cosmetology department. Despite being a lion and maintaining his sharp claws, he doesn't have much experience painting nails. Slapshot went head-to-head for Cheyenne and Jocelyn to see if he could keep up with their skills. How do you think Slapshot did? Experiences like these are why BCTC is regarded as one of the premier career and technical education facilities in all of Pennsylvania. BCTC operates on 2 campuses, each situated on more than 23 picturesque acres in Berks County. For more information on the center's programs and facilities, visit berkscareer.com today. Heidelberg Country Club is Berks County's premier golf, social, and banquet facility. Conveniently located off Route 183, just 10 minutes north of the Reading Airport, its scenic views, majestic clubhouse, and outstanding golf course will create the perfect setting for your next special event. For group golf and special occasion gatherings, Heidelberg Country Club will leave the lasting impression you desire. For more information, phone their sales office or go to heidelbergcc.com. That's Heidelberg, HeidelbergCC.com today.
The Cheers restaurant at the Doubletree of Hilton Reading is the post-game spot for our Royals post-game parties this season. Join us for the post-game shows featuring player special guests and be available for pictures. Swing on into the Cheers restaurant at the Doubletree on Penn Street for Royals post-game parties. Visit RoyalsHockey.com to see the full party schedule and stream the post-game show on the Royals Broadcast Network with the Mixler app. The Royals Owner Suite is perfect for any group gathering. The group area includes 20 tickets and a wide range of catering options offered from our suite catering menu. You'll have access to the full-service bar as well on the suite level. To discuss group outing options for this area, call the Royals at 610-898-7225 or visit RoyalsHockey.com.
Hi, this is forward Shane Seller. Listen to Royals Hockey all season long at home and on the go on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside our rocking Sunshine Arena. Friday Night Hockey, Royals and Railers coming together, the first of two this weekend. Win both, the Royals are into the Kelly Cup playoffs. Lose one, they are out. And 20 minutes down, Matt, a 3-0 Royals lead. Starting off the scoring 11 seconds into play by Matt Miller at his 14th of the year, followed by Souther and Primo. Royals a dominant first, looking to carry it here into the second.
Yeah, definitely going to look to try and get off to that hot start again here in the second period. And it does look like the Railers kept in Bouillon, so they'll keep riding with him, and hopefully the Railers are going to look to try and turn it around here.
His third consecutive start. He has backstopped the point each of the prior two, only allowing 3 goals at most in each of the last two. He allowed 2 goals in his victory coming over the Adirondack Thunder last Saturday. And the third goal allowed in his last start on Sunday came in overtime. He's allowed as many goals here in the opening 15 minutes of play. And it was that Primo most recent marker that also gives Callisti and Casera multi-point games to start tonight's face-off and the weekend festivities, where the Royals are looking to get things underway and force a win-and-you're-in scenario for both teams come tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely not the start the Railers wanted in their games against the Royals, to go down 3-0 so early on in the first period. It's going to be an uphill climb for them here now to try and just get back into this game. But the saving grace for the Railers is they do have 2 games to get it done, where the Royals need to do it in both.
And 40 minutes to go for Worcester, all in all tonight. And a shot off the blocker of Bullion denies the first 2 shots of the period from Reading, who doubled Worcester in shots 16-8 in the first. Back retrieving is Walters. Great night defensively to start for the Welland, Ontario native. He guides Brown, steps up, shot, slings it over the net. Great A look, but Brown a little too much muscle put on it. and puts it over the cage. Railers transition the other way. Once again, a swift end to it, brought by a Walters poke check. And a Schwanara track down, feeds it down the right wing, missed the mark. Icing on the Royals.
Yeah, I just don't know what the Railers were doing on that defensive zone right there. They both backed up and just gave the middle of the ice wide open in the slot area. Just put a little too much on it, but the Railers are really going to have to be more aggressive on the defense to not allow that to happen again.
And to one of the last skaters you want to give that much open ice to and a clean lane on your netminder. And one Matt Brown, last season's ECHL All-Star selection for the Royals. He has been held quite as of late. His last goal came 12 games ago. But he has been able to pick up points in terms of assists. He has 5 in his last 6. And right there, he almost was able to break that scoring drought in terms of goals himself. It's Petrozelli hugging the left post. He'll deny Worcester's captain and franchise leader in every offensive category. That's goals, that's assists, and points for Anthony Rapace, the 30-year-old from Toronto, who ties for 4th among all skaters in the league in shots on goal. But he is only 2nd on the team in shots registered, as it is on Anthony Callan, who is 2nd in the league.
Yeah, they're a shooting team. They like to shoot, the Railers, shooting gallery, you could say. But again, we see them keep trying to go on that post side of Petrozelli, and he's just done a good job closing that one off.
11th in the league in shots per game, averaging 32. Held to 8 in the first. And Reading looking to remain sharp in front of Petrozelli, who denied all 8 shots faced. Hard checks exchanged. Capone and Kaplan go back and forth. Once again, exchanging pleasantries as Seller gets a mouthful of the dasher in front of Worcester's bench. Checked hard from behind. Back to his feet is a Carlisle, PA native. And we play on. Army's up for icing against Reading. And a face-off back down to the Royals' end of the ice.
Yeah, Capone just not able to get a stick on that one, so it will be an icing come down to the Royal zone. The Royals have done a good job in the face-offs. Even when they lose, they're just aggressive to the Railers, forcing them to make errant passes, errant shots, and they're able to usually get that puck back quickly. So we'll see what the Royals are able to do here.
Ryan Liebold, conversation with Sedley before stepping in at the dot. Tango out the draw, dug away, and comes in behind the net of Petrozelli. Worcester will set up formation, right to left, skating in the white tops. And a shot left wing, blocker, saved by Petrozelli. Guys it in behind his goal. Britt tried to shovel it out the center ice. 4th game back in the lineup for Logan Britt. As the defense sees that shot whiz on goal into the left mitt of Petrozelli, who snares down the 11th shot of the night he sees. 11 for 11 to start tonight's game.
Yeah, the Railers finally able to get a little offensive zone pressure going, and it started with kind of an announcer jinx by myself. The Railers were able to win the draw and get to the puck, and by doing that, allowed them to sustain a little bit of offense. But Petrozelli, good blocker save first, and then a solid glove save to freeze the puck.
We don't believe in those here. We keep them out of the booth. No need to call yourself out here. Eric Jessberger standing alongside Matt Marchese, Alberta University graduating senior, back on the broadcast with us here at home, and has brought some early scoring luck along with our Wall of Honor inductee tonight, along with his family. Riley Gill on hand, 2013 Kelly Cup champion and playoffs MVP, the goaltender for your Reading Royals title club. And certainly has liked the start for Petrozelli. Won't be too happy with Petrozelli getting taken down from behind by a Railer, as him, like the Royals faithful in the stands, are going to give out their displeasure on the no call. We play on 3.5 minutes down in our second.
Yeah, I will say the refs have really let both teams kind of play out besides the obvious calls made on the Railers. And Bouillon.
Shot turned on net, as that was Grattan bidding for his 20th of the season. He has the most among all Royals, and would have been the first hit the 20 goal club. And the net, it's tangled by Nardi, sets up, wrist shot, save in front Called Bullion in the chest. Squirts out to the near corner. Renardi feathers in front to Cook. Pushed it wide right of the goal.
Yeah, Bouillon's really struggled with his rebound control so far in this game, and the Royals have done a good job at kind of exposing that early on.
Mongo throwing it back on that. Bullion quickly steps out of his crease and flicks it out to center. Walters feeds the beckoning Miller. Tapped his stick on the ice. But stepping in between the two was Ronnie Emmy. Comes back this way to Mongo. Is shot into the right mid. Oh, Bullion, he holds on. Gets a stoppage of play. And that pass just goes to put a perspective on Worcester just not clicking so far tonight as Bullion got in that puck back this way towards our Flow Sports audience while the Railers defense is skating the opposite way. It's once again lending over the puck to the Royals, who are just crashing in. The forecheck has been prominent tonight, and Reading is certainly paying dividends of it.
Yeah, it has been dominant. And Bouillon, he didn't even look behind his shoulder when he just hit it back. He just assumed he had a player there. Wasn't the only player there. Was Mongo from the Royals, and got a shot where Bouillon wasn't really able to set his feet. Was luckily able to grab that, but the Railers, again, just another errant pass that's going to not be an icing. They said he will get a tip on it, but the Railers are really struggling with their passes today.
Gopwood right there to meet Schwinnard. A puck ends up in the Royals penalty box. A door yet to open tonight. And the Royals looking to keep it that way. They have both power play so far through action back in the first. 1 for 2 on our game sheet. Yet to credit that Mason Primo power play goal, giving Reading the 3-0 advantage they skate with here through the opening 5 minutes of the second. Petrozelli having a brief conversation with the referee Logan Grohl, one of the two wearing the orange stripe tonight. And can imagine it comes after he was taken down from behind. The unintentional crisscross between Petrozelli and Tyler Coburn. But it took out Petrozelli, who was fired up when he got back to his feet. Fortunately, the puck was on the opposite end of the ice. Or else would have been a more animated Petrozelli, I can imagine, as he makes a stop on an offensive zone draw win and quick wrist flick on net by Connor Welsh. It's a 1-2 combo for the Railers in terms of scoring. We have given the mention of Anthony Rapace of his team lead in points and goals and leading all Railers in assists, skating in his 71st game of the season. The Iron Man of Connor Welsh, who has 48 assists on the year, and among defensemen, that ties for first among points in the league.
Yeah, Welsh has been great with his vision, getting those passes.
Shot by Primo, brushed away by Bullion. Here's Welsh, carries it in behind the net of his goaltender, former Trois Rivières line in the 22-23 season. Feeds a right wing, a shot kicked away. Petrozelli denies with the left leg.
Yeah, huge save by Petrozelli, and what a pass by Walsh after we were just talking about a little chip in. Huge save, though, by Petrozelli.
Pulled out the 9-iron, and like Scotty Scheffler down in Augusta, Georgia yesterday for the Masters, just fed it right on the tape. Pin high, if you want to call it that, for Anthony Rapace. That duo almost coming together for Worcester's first goal, but a Petrozelli kick save keeps Worcester off the board and running up by 3. Here's Master. Leads Teller into the zone. Snap pass comes this way to Capone. Poke checked in behind the net by Matt Delmas. Great hand-eye coordination. Royals able to feed it net from where a whistling shot by Seller goes high and wide. Far corner, Capone. To the slot has Master. Master cranks back a shot, put off the right leg of McDonald. Through the legs, Capone almost able to feed that to Master. We saw Capone pull that no-look through the leg pass off to a Miller goal earlier this year. Just unable to get it cleanly off that time around. Worcester able to step into the offensive zone. They work in outside the trapezoid. And will be a short-lived stint. Capone all over it. Will flick it down into Railers territory. Royals changing lines as Worcester ices the puck.
Yeah, just not a smart play right there by Ryan Niemi. Again, not looking, just picking that puck up. Had more time than I think he realized and just fired it down for the icing. Allows the Royals to get a wholesale change. and get an offensive zone draw here, while the Railers are going to have their tired players still out there for the defensive zone draw for them.
It's a tale of the tape. You're trying to put context on this game thus far, and for Worcester, a club that is where they are at in the standings, an overall record of 34, 29, 3-4 because of their home ice command this year, where they are 6 games above 500. On the road, they are 1 game below 500. So they can even things up here with a victory, and still plenty of hockey to go, down by 3, but is certainly showing that tip of the scale between home ice and a road ice advantage, and it's going well for Reading so far through play, who is also in the plus at home compared to away. Reading finishing the road portion of their schedule at 16, 17, and 3, 1 game below 500. They are 4 games above 500 here at home, 15, 11, and 7. Hard hit, and that's a crashing check. Gianfranco Casero getting physical with Caproot on the opposite end as a transition shot punched away by Petrozelli. And the rebound flicked down the ice by Sedley. Will have just enough steam on it for an icing violation, but a big stop by Petrozelli, traffic, and everybody crashing in. The rebound scooped up by Sedley and cleared.
Yeah, that's an icing you'll take with Sedley. Everybody was crashed in. He was able to just dig that puck out from that log jam of players and just firing that one down. Nearly had the touch on it to not be icing. Just went a little too much and is. But a huge save by Petrozelli and good job by Sedley to clear that one out. Now this is an important draw for the Royals to win here.
7.5 minutes through period number 2. Worcester 5 shots to Reading's 4 here in the second. 20 shots for the Royals to Worcester's 13 overall so far through action. Liebold wins it back cleanly to the left of Petrozelli. Casero wings it up to Grattan. Cross ice to Cook, bobbled, or chipping in behind the net, intended for Liebold, but bounced away to Mason Klee, who corrals and pops it in to Reading zone, and this will be from the red line. Ruled icing on Klee, and once again a Reading offensive zone draw up and coming, and Worcester looking to get these blue line to blue line passes off. Nothing coming to avail. Testament to Reading's defense and also hindering Worcester's ability to get these breakout passes on their tapes.
Yeah, they haven't been able to do it at all tonight. So at this point, I think the Railers are really going to need to adjust and kind of give up on those flick passes from blue line to blue line, because they've dealt with more icings than connected passes, and that's something you can't win with.
Led by head coach Nick Tuzzolino, who was promoted to the bench boss position on December the 14th after Bob Durrani was named to head of scouting within the New York Islanders organization. Tuzzolino, a familiar name to Royals fans as a former Elmira Jackal and Wheeling Nailer himself back in the 2010-2011 season. Just his second season coaching, and he's here at the helm of Worcester and has led this club on its hot spree throughout the last half of December and all through here the 2025 calendar year, but has some early kinks to kick out of his club that is down by 3, approaching the halfway mark of regulation time with a loose padding from the...
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate bounce for the Royals as they had numbers 3-on-2, and that padding just somehow fell off. Not sure
coming
how.
From the photographer's seat in between, and can say that team photographer Sarah Petrowski is taking her position by the Zamboni glass hole, so she is not responsible for this stoppage in play and halt to that odd man rush. It just caught some breeze, and maybe a railer punched it over, and no one caught him.
Possible.
It's going to be taped up, and we're going to resume play while the officials take care of it.
Clean it up, yeah. Well, definitely a tough bounce, but gives both teams a little bit of a breather here to reset and get things going while we're about to hit midway here in the second period. And it's going to be the Railers who are really pushing right now because 0 goals, only 14 shots. They're going to need to get something going at least in this period to have a chance.
Be a center ice face-off to resume action. 11:41 to go in the second period. Worcester and Reading, two teams that have scored their most goals in a single period in the middle frame all season long. Has been the bread and butter of both offenses. Reading with 69 goals to Worcester's 71, but Worcester, much like their top 10 in terms of most goals allowed in the first period, carries into the second, allowing the 7th most goals against in the middle frame. Right here, it will be a penalty against Nardi for high sticking off the face-off to resume action. That will give Worcester their first power play of the night, and it comes at a time fresh off of that brief stop in action. Fresh legs out there for the Railers, and now a man up.
Yeah, huge opportunity here for the Railers to try and breathe some life back into their game. They have a 19.4% power play percentage, so the Railers can score, but the Royals with a great 79.6 penalty killing percentage. So it's going to be a good penalty kill versus a decent power play.
Reading 3 for 4 on the penalty kill in their Wednesday 4-3 loss to Norfolk. They have allowed a power play goal in 4 of their last 5 games. Just as you see that power play start to hit a second gear, the PK seems to take a step back, trying to even things out here in the final 2 games of the regular season, and would be off to a good start if able to hold off Worcester's power play attack. You mentioned the 19.4% clip, good for 14th best in the league, and a unit that has just 1 power play goal in the last 5 games. A hard fanned on miss by Seller, tried to shovel it out the center ice with his glove, missed it. Worcester rattles it around the boards, and fortunately for Reading, this will skip out of their zone. Railers right to left skating on the stick of Anthony Callan, who guides it down the right wing, looking for space in behind the goal. He goes back to the blue line where Rapace plays catch with a wall. Welsh looks in, fires, and rang off of Schwinnard's stick blade, and a save by Petrozelli denies the leftovers. Blue line to Welsh. Pass skips away from Gill. Fires it to the right. Dot poke check by Liebel. Negates that. Rapace one-timer. He gets it back. Rapace into the air. Gill gloves it. Fires on goal. Save. Rebound. Comes free from Petrozelli at the right post. Able to squeak it to the blue line, but not out of the zone. It was Walters. Left wing. Gill. One time. Rapace scores. Power play goal. Anthony Rapace puts Worcester on the board. Cuts the deficit to 2 for the Railers. A team-leading 10th power play marker of the year, who now ties for first in the league in power play points with his 29th.
Yeah, tough one. Petrozelli made a couple good saves, but the Worcester Railers were able to just keep picking up that puck, and Rapace found a soft spot in the Royals defense and hammered home that one-timer for his 28th goal of the year and his 64th point of the season. So Rapace, that's the one guy you have to keep your eye on, found a loose zone and made the Royals pay.
Both goals and points, team highs respectively for Rapace, who had been pointless in his last 2 outings against the Royals. He won't be held quiet here tonight, as the captain has the much-needed response for the visitors from Massachusetts. It's now Reading's turn to answer, and it's Matt Brown with a shot. Just a whisker over the goal. Great look down the right wing, and Brown once again turned on the Jets. Comes up empty-handed.
Yeah, good look right there. Royals, though, you got to hit the net on your shots if you want to put the pucks in the net after they've had a couple good opportunities and just sailed it too high.
Worcester within 3 shots of matching Reading, as they have doubled Reading in shots here in the second, 8-4, after Reading commanded the shot department 16-8 in the first. Game tilting on its head. Unfortunately, Reading's goals have come off of their 3 extra shots. Here's a jab to Seller. Puck pinched up the right wing. It's Capone. Fires. Stick down. Called up to, and a great back check by Pito Wallen, who is in the box for that Royal power play goal. It comes up with a textbook defensive play there. Redeeming himself a bit was the rookie, hailing from Peapack, New Jersey.
Good defensive play by Walton. Get his stick in there in the shooting lane. As game's kind of opened up a little here for both teams. A lot of skating going on and better shots for both teams. Next goal could be the most important in the game.
This is where you see also the big hits start to pick up as Capone's shot to Chouinard is fended off by Bouillon, bobbled, and comes free from his grasp, allows Reading a second effort. That whistles a shot over the cage. That's Calisti. Runs up to Chouinard. His shot runs up the stick. Bouillon catching the safety netting. Will stop play with 8 minutes to go in our second period.
Yeah, Bouillon has really struggled with his rebound control tonight. Not able to settle the puck the way he'd like to. And we saw it one right into the chest, unable to control it. Allowed the Royals to keep up their offensive zone pressure. Luckily, he was able to stick that one out. But now that on this television timeout, both teams will have an opportunity to talk things over once again. Get it going here with 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the second.
Worcester with the lone goal here in the second after Reading had 3 goals in the first. It's the second time this season Reading put up 3 goals in an opening period. They had a season-high 4 goals hoisted back on January the 11th against the Trois-Rivières Lions, a Reading 5-4 win. You looked at that 4-goal first period, ended up being the true difference as it was TR able to pick up 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third. Reading hoping that course of history doesn't repeat itself where we have the heart pumping at the end of this one. Of course, they would take the win at the end of the day, but with this commanding start, trying to carry throughout the full 60-minute effort tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely what you don't want to do. You don't want to have your heart racing towards
not when the playoffs are on the line.
No, definitely not. Maybe a middle of the season game where it doesn't mean as much, you'll be okay, but in a must-win game for the Royals to keep their playoff hopes alive, they're not going to want to play in that heart-pumping game, so they're going to look to get back to the Royals from the first period here with 8 minutes remaining in the second.
Just like tonight, that night, Reading outshot their opponent in Trois-Rivières 16-8 in the first. Not too happy with the parallels thus far, but hey, they came out with a Royals win, and that's all that matters tonight. A victory, and the Royals force a win, and you're in-game scenario tomorrow for both of these teams. Royals, a loss, their hopes of playoff hockey in Berks County comes to an end. A block shot from Cook sends a puck high into the rafters, where we saw Army men, parachutes come down moments ago to give some fans some giveaways, and springs a pass up the left wing to Cook, who curls back at the dot. Drop to Liebel, who drives Callan hard in the reverse check. Callan thought he had Liebel's number with Liebel's head down. Well, once again, it's the Ashburn, Virginia native from Merrimack College. Going to flex his muscle and give Callan the business in the return.
Yeah, Liebel, such an impressive player being that physical at only 5'10". You rarely see that in hockey, to be that physical at such, a smaller size. So good for Liebel, really aggressive player, and works out for him.
Rolling in behind Petrozelli's goal. Inside 7 minutes to go in the second. A 3-1 Royals lead. Worcester off the stick of Rapace. Having the lone goal here in this second period. Icing against Reading in an offensive zone draw for the Railers.
Yeah, Worcester ready with 9 shots this period compared to the last period where they only put up 8. Clearly had a stern talking in that locker room in that first intermission, as they have looked rejuvenated here in this second period, and it's kind of been an opposite of the first, where the Royals have kind of been the team on their heels this period.
You look at Worcester, and you can argue just simplifying the game is transcending their attack, just getting out of their own zone, and Reading's forecheck not as prominent here thus far. Can lend to these crisper passes, of course, but once again, carrying over from the first is an undisciplined play by a Railer. This is going to be Petrozelli scurrying to the bench as Chouinard gets back to his feet. Delayed penalty now going to be ruled holding against Worcester's Griffin Lochran. He'll be sent to the box. And Reading onto the power play, their third of the game.
Yeah, just undisciplined by Worcester Railers. There was no reason for that play, as it was so far behind. Sure what's going on here. The box is open, no players going in it yet.
rather than Lochran, it's going to be Matthew Coprud, who was over the bench and on Worcester's play bench, trying to kind of fall within the cattle and go unseen, but having a keen eye for it was Logan Gruhl. Plucks him out from the group and says, you got to go across the way, bud.
Yeah, tried sneaking away behind his other players to stay out of that penalty box, but he will be thrown in there. And a huge opportunity for the Royals. They just gave up that goal this period. A huge opportunity to get it right back.
Mason Primo steps in at the draw. Power play goal. Scored in that first period for Primo. Wins it back and sets up Reading's attack. Left to right, Callisti. Twirling at the left face-off circle. Is tripped up. Arm stayed down. Pass gets off to Mago. Down low. Primo muscled it wide of the goal.
Room.
Was so close he could have breathed on Bullion, but the shot just ran across the netminder's body and squeaked wide. Behind the net, Brown and Primo go digging away as the puck rolls under the skate of Ryan Amashi. The first full-year pro from Stony Creek, Ontario. Feeds out to center on the successful clear. And back to retrieve is Callisti, 5.5, ticking down in our second.
Royals going to look to try and set it up here and get some more offense going. Not the pass you exactly want to have to set it up, though. So they'll take some time, reset, and get it going.
A minute remaining on the Royals IBEW power play. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers electrifying every Royals power play this season. Brown slicing through the defense. The puck roll off his stick blade. Regroups, goes blue line where it bounces away from Callisti's grasp. He's forced to lasso it in back out at center.
Good look by Brown. The puck just seemed to hop on Callisti at the last possible moment, having it go out of the zone, wasting more time, so the Royals are going to be upset about that one.
2 points tonight for Callisti. He has 3 goals in his last 4 games. 2 apples tonight. He quarterbacks the power play and gives off to Jake Smith at the left dot. Blue line out of the zone. Callisti and Sedley changing. And a sloppy minute. In the second half of this power play, Royals are not going to be able to get a shot off in the final 60 seconds. Going now 1 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. But get into the offensive zone with Miller on the hunt. Nardi driving Callan into the glass. Puck came free to center, where Callan ends up with the puck bouncing away from Nardi. And rifles it in wide left of Petrozelli's goal. Schwinnard missing Miller in stride. Possession back over to Worcester from their blue line. Pass redirected in by Kaplan. Petrozelli plays the chip in. Guides it up the near boards where Capone is missed on the mark. Both teams unable to go tape to tape. Worcester now does so with a backhand. Dangle splits past Petrozelli but missed the back of the net as that was a bounce away from giving Worcester their second straight goal and making this a 1-goal game.
Yeah, what a play by Justin Gill with Deacon.
Here's Gill once again cutting in from Broadway. Puts a shot off the shoulder of Capone out of play. A big block with Gill in position to put that shot on goal. Won't be a test for Petrozelli. And stops play with 3:19 to go in the second. Royals a 3-1 lead. While here at Santander Arena, we take a very special moment as we had to recognize Todd Skirving for the first Royal franchise history to be named the 2024-25 ECHL Community Service Award recipient. Honored here at Santander Arena today, Frenchie Bauman with the read. The epitome of a captain, both on and off the ice. Yeah. Royals forward, number 17, Todd Skirving, recognized today as the ECHL Community Service Award winner, the first in Royals franchise history, and along with his buddy Slapshot, getting a smile on the camera for all the fans rising to their feet, and great stick taps from both teams as well for the captain's efforts.
Yeah, huge honor to win that community service award, be able to do it on the ice and off the ice. Just great sense of leadership right there, and congratulations to Todd Skirving.
Over $3,000 raised for his personal initiative of the Scurvy 3.0 and the No Shave November work, supporting research of prostate cancer, honor of his dad in remission for prostate cancer. As always, giving the special shout out to Rod Skirving, father of Todd, wishing our best to Rod and Doris as well, watching the game from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Todd's hometown. As the captain and son of two proud parents, certainly happy to see what Todd has done, along with that money raised for cancer research. Numerous youth hockey skills clinics he's helped lend his expertise and time to. Celebrity fundraising events as well for Slapshot Charities, providing support to underprivileged youth for the game of hockey here in downtown Reading, and so much more. Yeah. And Todd recognized as the ECHL Community Service Award winner for the 24-25 season.
Yeah, just awesome.
Here's Casera, tucks a shot, hits the apron of the net, rolls in behind the goal to Mongo. Drives it to the blue line where Nardi, pivoting back and forth, gave off to Mongo, and it's plucked away cleanly by Kaplan. Spring pass to Rapace, who goes off his skate to his forehand, but tracked down by Sedley. Snap back this way. Great defensive play, showing off the nifty works with the skate. Sedley able to deny one of Worcester's best attackers right there, and negates even a shot from lending off.
Yeah, definitely. Sedley was on the near side, had to make his way to the far side, and just a great job by shutting him down and not allowing any shot to even be made there.
A pass from Miller, springing Mongo into the zone. Caught up to by Callan. And the bounce pass from Miller, missing Britt on sides. It's taken out the center by the Crystal Lake, Illinois native, and back for Worcester. They played on the chip and coughed it up. Smith to Primo, looking for the Cavalry, coming in now to the offensive zone as Primo curls back to the blue line.
Yeah, tough timing right there for Primo. Thought he might have people behind him, unfortunately didn't, but able to still keep that puck in the zone is a huge plus.
Smith cutting in. Cross crease, intended for Brown, sticked away by Klee. Primo plays it from Brown, forward boards, hacking at the puck. Primo able to dig it away. Final minute of our second period, running a 3-1 lead, trying to restore their 3-goal advantage before the intermission. Walters steer this in behind the net. It's Bullion. Play back this way to Klee. Stretch pass, missing the leaping Tyler Cobran. And Petrozelli cuts off the leftover puck in behind his goal. Final half minute of our second. And Callisti will slow things up.
Yeah, Royals content with just wasting that time so they can have the last rush of this period here.
A pass from Callisti. Caromed in by Grant. Final 10 seconds. Behind the net, Bullion. Grant digs it away. Cuts back to the left dot. Space for Cook. Behind the goal. Full-timer on net. Sedley had it blocked. Comes back to Cook, and a big Ryan Massey. Step up. Brick wall play, dropping to a knee, wore a Sedley sizzler from the top of the right face-off circle, and ends our second period. Worcester drawing the one marker out of it and cutting a deficit to 2. A 3-1 Royals lead heading into the final period of regulation tonight.
Yeah, first off, huge block right there by Ryan Massey. Could potentially save the goal. We don't know where that puck was going to go off Sedley's stick. Could have gone top corner, so huge block. And kind of an opposite of the first period, a period that was more controlled by the Railers. But luckily, the Royals able to only hold them to 1 goal to keep up a 3-1 lead.
Sedley got every ounce of muscle into that shot. And one to remember, should Worcester come back to respond, Reading looking to avoid any bit of it as they have 40 minutes down, a 2-goal lead, and are 20 minutes away. Clean hockey in the third, and we are in a win and you're in scenario come tomorrow, and it's all required for a better 20 minutes, much like the first rather than the last, as it was Worcester who, as you had mentioned, Matt, had outshot the Royals only by 2, 9-7 in terms of advantage in shots, but able to pick up the lone goal in that second. Goal to begin the third for Worcester, and now you are starting to clench the teeth and get things interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, the start of the third period is going to be super important for the Royals to control the pace of game. They cannot allow the Railers to get their game pace in that third period. The Royals are going to have to start off strong and kind of just finish it out strong and ease in to win to try and force a game tomorrow where it's a win-and-in situation.
Excited for the third period, but first we have a very special guest stepping in to the broadcast booth, our nonprofit of the game with concerns will be joining us here on our broadcast, the CEO of our nonprofit of the game, Gordon May, in our one-on-one conversation coming up next right here on the Royals Broadcast Network for our second intermission interview. Here on Flow Sports, our Mixer streaming app, and our interview broadcast on 99.3 FM, presented by Diamond-Dental.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Calling all those seeking to buy, sell, or rent, residential or commercial. This is Dan Peasy, owner of Next Home Brandywine, a preferred real estate partner of the Reading Royals. My team has the local knowledge, experience, and honesty that you need to navigate today's market. We can help you find your next home. We have multilingual agents to serve you. If you see me at Royals games this year, let's talk hockey and houses. Mention the discount code SCORE. Visit our website at nexthomebrandywine.com. Let's go Royals!
Reading Royals hockey is in action with promotional games right in Berks County. Tickets starting at $14 gives you a seat to the high-flying hits, electrifying goals, and fun with Slapshot the whole family will love. Experience a game at Santander Arena on a weekend or weeknight by getting your tickets at royalshockey.com or by calling 610-898-7825 today. Craving something fresh and fast during the game? Stop by the Salsa Burrito stand behind Section 120 at Santander Arena for delicious burritos, quesadillas, and more. It's the perfect spot to grab a quick bite while you enjoy Royals hockey. Try Salsa Burrito today. New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center is the official massage therapist of the Reading Royals. You are living your best life when your mind and body are balanced and healthy. Massage is not just a luxury, it's a way to a healthier, happier life. Visit New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center in Wyomissing today. Judd Firestone Plumbing, your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, Judd Firestone Plumbing's team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every single time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or the bath of your dreams, Judd Firestone Plumbing handles it all with professionalism and care. Call Judd Firestone Plumbing today at 610-678-9080, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind. Back inside Santander Arena, Friday night hockey, Royals leading the Worcester Railers 3-1 in game number 71 of 72 of the regular season. Reading 20 minutes away from forcing a deciding final game of the regular season where the winner of tomorrow, should Reading hold this lead and reign victorious tonight, will have the winner advance into the final spot of the Kelly Cup playoffs. But before we get to the third period, a very special guest joining us here in the broadcast booth. is from our nonprofit of the game. It is the nonprofit Concern joining us, and I have the pleasure of welcoming on President and CEO Gordon May to the broadcast. An exciting conversation up and coming. Gordon, thank you so much for the time tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Everything here Concern provides, many locations all throughout Berks County and beyond. Can you touch on the mission of your nonprofit, everything they provide?
Yeah, Concern's mission is to bring hope, offer opportunity, and inspire change. And I like to say our employees truly live and breathe our mission. You know, we have so many different nonprofit providers that provide mental health service, human services, but when you really think about it, people need hope, opportunity, and to make a change, and that's what we really try to do at Concern.
That's fantastic. Good mission and a name that brands to that initiative and the work. Can you dive into a bit of that community work and where those seeking out some of the services can get in contact and learn more?
Yeah, so locally here, like I said, we're 15 locations all through Pennsylvania, one down in Maryland, but locally we have an outpatient clinic in Wyomissing and also in Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. We have outpatient services, adoption, foster care services. We really run the gamut of all the different types of human services, behavioral health services, in the state and specifically here in Reading, Pennsylvania.
That's fantastic. Never too far away for our listeners, whether it's maybe parents of some of these skaters tuning in from across the nation or maybe finding themselves far away from Berks County. Great to hear about that. The story of Concerns, the nonprofit. Where did everything all begin and the flourishing, incredible start?
So Concern's been around since 1978, so a little over 45 years now, so it's pretty amazing. Our name's interesting, too. It was a great story. One of our founders, Nancy Weicker, Glenn Hilligas, when I got Concern about 9 years ago, they told me this story. Concern came from when they started the company, everybody was around, what are we going to name this place? We did foster care, everything, and everybody had all these concern for kids, concern for this, concern for that. So that's how Concern got its name, is because everybody that started that company had so much concern for kids. And that's how we got our name.
That's fantastic and a wonderful mission, may I say, to go with that name and talking about with the youth, but also branches out to the adults as well. So anybody tuning in can seek out some of the support. You touched on the ample location, ways in which those can get in contact to learn more. How can the community get involved? Maybe some organizations and fellow businesses trying to tap in and continue to grow.
Yeah, as a nonprofit, we're always looking for donations. We do a lot of events here locally. We have a bingo in Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. You can go to our website to donate money. Any money that you donate to Concern goes directly to the kids and families we serve. So sometimes we get kids that come into care, into foster care. They don't have any clothes. They need things. And we use those donations, that money, to support all the kids in care. We're also really looking for foster parents. As you can imagine, it's hard to find resources for children. There are a lot more kids that needs home than there are foster parents available. So if you go to our website, you can figure out and you can sign up and want to be a foster parent.
For those tuning in who may have pondered on the idea of being a foster parent, now have perked up in here because they know a great organization such as Concern right here joining us tonight at Santander Arena, and CEO Gordon May on the broadcast. Those interested, now, what are some of the stories you can share on the positive impact you can say that those within Concern and their work have come together for not only a rewarding opportunity for those kids, but also the foster parents themselves?
Yeah, no, so people obviously have a huge heart. If you're going to be a foster parent, you really gotta love kids, want to support and give kids an opportunity. Some of the best stories I hear when we have somebody come into care, and just to tell you how special it is for the families, we have a lot of parents, foster parents that come in just wanting to, I'm going to do it for a little bit, and they end up adopting kids, right? So one of the fun things that happens is we bring in these foster parents, and they think they're just going to foster some kids and move on, and they end up adopting the kids, which is good and bad because then we lose them as foster parents for future kids, and we got to recruit more foster parents. So it's pretty cool to see the whole process, and that's truly what happens.
And that's a wonderful process. You got to mention that bittersweet moment, but it is ultimately a great outcome. And
awesome
one
outcome.
of the many missions of it. So that's fantastic to hear. President CEO with Concern of Gordon May on the broadcast. We touched on a bit into the upcoming events. You mentioned bingo, and I imagine a lot of our listeners are perking up in here to maybe find more about that. But the other events up and coming within our community, what is on the upcoming schedule for Concern?
So coming up, most recently, we're going to have a Highmark Walk in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So we have a walk over the summer where we can raise money. We have people sign up. We join the walk. It's an awesome day. We have a great time, and you can go to the website and find out more about that.
Fantastic. Breaking down all the upcoming events and what Concern is all about. Human services right here in our local area and beyond, really across the nation. You mentioned that website, other ways in which to contact and find more for your group, and as well the exact locations in our local Berks County area.
Yeah, Concern, the number 4kids.org is the website. Also, we have a really good presence on LinkedIn and Facebook. We put a lot of information out there. We do a lot of posts, update on information, recruiting foster parents. The other thing I think I talked about, we do anywhere between 30 and 40 adoptions a year, which is really cool. But if you get on those websites, go to our website, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those things, you can find out more about Concern and specifically what we do.
And at that page as well, go to continue to contribute to the group that is all providing great human services to the youth, and those in Berks County continue to donate and do so with Concern.
Got a big donate button right on there, so it's right in the top right corner.
Nice and easy.
Nice
wonderful
and
to
easy.
hear that, and wonderful to have you along with our conversation tonight. Before I let you go, President and CEO Gordon May with Concern, talk about yourself and becoming the President and CEO. Of course, this is a group that is self-explanatory, wonderful work here in our area, but the most rewarding aspect of you being at the helm and making sure to drive this effort that has done so much for those around our area.
Yeah, I feel so fortunate because the people we have at Concern are amazing. It's truly in my heart. For those that don't know, I'm adopted myself. My grandparents raised me. My mom has mental health issues. She had schizophrenia growing up. And I was so fortunate to have people around me to support me, to get me where I am today. And I've been truly successful because people just like the people we have at Concern. They helped me along the way, and I actually turned out really well, doing a good job. I'm giving back myself. I love what I do, and I really love everything we do at Concern, and it means a lot to me.
Well, I can certainly second that point as well, and being a testament of the great work of Concern, it is great to have you on hand and to continue to share the story of your personal flourishing growth, and then also lead it right here to making a lot of kids who may be less fortunate find their next homes, and with that, a great future there and beyond. Awesome. Thank you so much. And with nonprofit of the game, it is Gordon May, President and CEO with Concern, joining us tonight. Be sure to stop around the concourse, meet Gordon and the entire Concern group, and find more. Website is concern4kids.org. That's Concern, the number 4, kids.org. And also continue to donate as well towards their great work. Gordon, thank you so much for the time tonight. And with that, let's have a great third period coming up here. And thank you for the time once again.
Thank you. Go Royals.
Awesome. Go Royals indeed. President and CEO with Concern, Gordon May, joining us for our second intermission conversation. Third period action up next. Royals a 3-1 lead over the Railers. And that contest, third period up next right here on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Calling all those seeking to buy, sell, or rent, residential or commercial. This is Dan Peasy, owner of Next Home Brandywine, a preferred real estate partner of the Reading Royals. My team has the local knowledge, experience, and honesty that you need to navigate today's market. We can help you find your next home. We have multilingual agents to serve you. If you see me at Royals games this year, let's talk hockey and houses. Mention the discount code SCORE. Visit our website at nexthomebrandywine.com. Let's go Royals!
Reading Royals hockey is in action with promotional games right in Berks County. Tickets starting at $14 gives you a seat to the high-flying hits, electrifying goals, and fun with Slapshot the whole family will love. Experience a game at Santander Arena on a weekend or weeknight by getting your tickets at royalshockey.com or by calling 610-898-7825 today. Craving something fresh and fast during the game? Stop by the Salsa Burrito stand behind Section 120 at Santander Arena for delicious burritos, quesadillas, and more. It's the perfect spot to grab a quick bite while you enjoy Royals hockey. Try Salsa Burrito today. New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center is the official massage therapist of the Reading Royals. You are living your best life when your mind and body are balanced and healthy. Massage is not just a luxury, it's a way to a healthier, happier life. Visit New Beginnings Massage Wellness Center in Wyomissing today. Judd Firestone Plumbing, your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, Judd Firestone Plumbing's team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every single time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or the bath of your dreams, Judd Firestone Plumbing handles it all with professionalism and care. Call Judd Firestone Plumbing today at 610-678-9080, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind. Swing Evolutions, located right here in Berks County, is the premier indoor golf and sports simulator. With over 8 bays and access to more than 1,000 courses, is the perfect spot for everything from hosting a party to enjoying a fun day out. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just looking for something different to do, Swing Evolutions has you covered for a great time. Learn more and book your outing at swingevolutions.com.
Hi, this is forward Connor McMenamin. Listen to the Royals hockey at home and on the go on the Royals Broadcast Network with the Mixlr app.
Minutes from forcing a deciding game number 72. Winner takes all tomorrow. The Royals have a 2-goal lead heading into the third and final period of play in downtown Reading. A 3-goal first period, cutting a lead down to 2 was a lone goal in the second from captain of the Railers, Anthony Rapace. That sets us up, Reading up by a pair, and a much-needed lockdown showing by Keith Petrozelli and company here in this third period. And they want to have a playoff hope live into tomorrow.
Yeah, Eric, this is the most important period of the Reading Royals season, at least until tomorrow if all things go well. So this period is going to decide if the Royals are playing for a playoff spot tomorrow or if they're going to be eliminated. So nothing more important than this period. And the way the Royals have to win this period is just play the way they've been playing all game. Just settle the pace, have a good, solid forecheck as well as a decent back check, and allow Petrozelli to see the puck and make the saves when he's able to see it.
Reading icing the puck off of the opening draw win as Eric Jesperger alongside Alvernia University graduating senior Matt Marchese. Happy to be with you on the broadcast tonight. 30 seconds into our third. Reading will chip this puck in on Michael Bullion, who we were interested to see if would return back to play in the second after allowing 3 goals in the first on 8 shots faced. He has been stand-up in goals since the first and is looking to have a comeback effort backstopped here in the third as his offense tries to pick up a build-up on the most recent goal tallied by Rapace. It begins with Worcester. On the stick handle of Jordan Kaplan, kicked into the slot, scooped up by Callisti, who weaves his way back in behind Petrozelli's goal. Steers it to Matt Brown, who scoops up and gets Reading back in control of the puck.
Yeah, good job by Callisti there with pressure on the Worcester forecheck, able to spin around and get it into safe hands and clear that puck without a turnover.
Bouncing away from Brown as Reading gained the line. Shot in stride by Calpert into the belly of Petrozelli, who gobbles it up for the whistle.
Yeah, Royals really lax on that defense there, steadily giving him the shot, and Petrozelli well up to the challenge. Made a solid save right there.
Petrozelli looking to go back-to-back in the win column for the first time since his third loan to the Royals from Lehigh Valley at the top of March. He's been back and forth, and it's been when Petrozelli drops an affair. He ends up winning the next one, and is 4-4 in the last 8, trying to get above 500 since his return from the Phantoms. And a record of 12-16-4 on the season. Petrozelli's team-high 32nd start in goal. Be an interesting decision come tomorrow should Petrozelli lock down the window and hatch at the end of this game to see if Purpura is given the nod. But first things first, it's the remaining 18 minutes of regulation to take care of. A 2-goal cushion in front of Petrozelli, and Reading looking to build upon it after a 3-goal first period.
Yeah, Worcester 8-25 when trailing after 2, whereas the Royals are 23-1. So the Royals do like to be leading after that second period and very confident.
Almost surrendered away by Petrozelli, then bobbled away by Casero, but it's turned aside. Not bad. Petrozelli redeeming himself off the initial misplay behind his net, and then Casero just dropped it here on the net front, scores! Off the glass, in the goal. It's Lincoln Hatton finishing the bouncing puck. Binkley immediately pointed to the safety netting. We might have a review. But right there with the eyes like a hawk on the puck was Logan Gruhl. And he's going to roll this a good goal without even a look at the iPad. He had vision right underneath the safety netting from behind the goal. And this uncanny home ice unfriendly bounce will go by the way of the visitors in Worcester, who have cut this score. A 3-0 lead for Reading after 1. It's now a 3-2
Yeah, that's just
score.
That's just an odd one. Petrozelli made the good stick save, directed it into the corner, and just took an almost unfathomable bounce off that board. And Hatton found it right there and made no mistake and put it in. Petrozelli wasn't expecting that puck to come right back to him like that. So just an unfortunate bounce for the Royals, but they're going to have to step back up after that one.
Advantageous for the Railers. It's Rapace in the second, and Lincoln Hatton 2:38 here into the third. Connor Welsh will earn his team leading 49th assist, and has Worcester a marker away from tying this score.
Yeah, quick goal, 2 in the third period with 16:35 remaining, only down by 1. They have a lot of time here.
Kaplan able to wisely turn back at the blue line before going off sides. He skates back into Worcester territory, lifted away from the puck by Brown, who galloped behind the goal. Will wrap it in behind the net to Mason Primo. Fellow Phantom contracted forward. Wrist shot on goal, awkward angle, and it gets on net. Punched away by Bullion. Out the center of the red line. It's turned over by Hatton. Corralled by Smith. Center ice pass to Brown, who gets helicopter spun at center ice. Mason Primo coming right over to the deliverer of that hit. That Cam McDonald of Worcester, who tried to open ice bull rush. Brown ended up catching the shifty skater at the left knee, and an awkward fall. Fortunately, Brown back to his feet. He's A-okay, while the Royals onto a power play 4 minutes here into the third.
Yeah, Brown, great skater, was able to skate around, and McDonald just kind of got caught and ended up taking a knee-on-knee, a tripping call. Huge opportunity here for the Royals on this power play to get the goal back that they just surrendered.
Former captain of Providence, Cam McDonald, hoping this minor penalty does not come back to hinder Worcester's comeback efforts. 3-2 score. Face off right side of Michael Bullion, Reading 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. A power play goal tallied in now 5 of their 6 games here in April. Trying to have a second game here in the month with 2 power play markers. And Primo begins the rush. Hair on fire after seeing his roommate, Matt Brown, take that spill. Drops it to Calisti. Primo takes position net front. Gets the received pass from Casero. Snaps it high slot. Calisti. Pump fakes. Fires. Save. Juicy rebound, but just grazed away from Primo's tap in. Right dot. Fanned on by Brown. Forked out into the Royal zone. Great clear by Connor Welsh.
Yeah, good job by Calisti right there to actually get that shot through. Held it. Waited for the right time. Got the shot through. Bouillon. Good save. Raylor's trying to clear it out. Royals going to try and reset here and get things going.
Calisti to Smith. Reading had to hit the brakes at the blue line as Nardi was a bit antsy. And the deflection rolls in behind the goal. Worcester able to take it away but can't clear it. It's held in by Smith. Sedley left out to Smith. The 2-play catch. Right wing. Fires. Nardi. Cradled in goal by Bullion, who makes his 16th consecutive save. He has been quite the bounce back netminder here in this game alone, and bringing up Worcester's ability to come within 1, and saves like that with traffic in front. Bullion has had quite the response to those 3 goals on 8 shots faced in the first.
Yeah, after a really rough start, Bouillon's really settled back into this game. Struggled with some rebounds here and there, but that was a good one to cradle that.
Royals win the offensive zone draw. 40 seconds. Still to utilize on the man advantage. Nardi with Sedley at the blue line. Left wing to Smith. His shot bristles on goal, but is off the stick in front. And a shot block credited to Connor Welsh, who takes it out of play, and a face-off draw once again in front of Worcester's netminder.
Yeah, good block right there. But now the Royals, huge offensive zone draw and a must-win here for them to get it going in this power play.
First power play unit back on the ice. Primo with Brown and Mongo. Casero and Calisti. And Primo's back pockets. 5.5 minutes down in the third. Reading wins the draw. Mongo tied up after the clean win by Primo. Mongo takes a shoulder to the chin. Gets right back in the fray. And digs it in deeper behind Worcester's zone. And pops up into the air at the left eye. Brown handles. Throws it into the slot. No orange sweater there to play it. And it's pinched down the ice. And Worcester a big penalty kill. And now Brown gives it away to McDonald, who goes right out of the box. But a connection in the neutral zone will be the instigator of a offsides call. Brown and Coburn getting tangled up. And a neutral zone faceoff after our promotional timeout taken here in the third period. 14 minutes to go in the third. Reading a 1-goal lead as Worcester has scored each of the last 2. Reading looking to sustain their lead and prevail here on the other side of our break in the action, where we take the moment to recognize our friends at Flow Sports with our coverage tonight on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Even on demand on FloHockey, part of the Flow Sports Network. With a FloHockey subscription, you get access to all Flow Sports sites. That's over 25 sports. Never miss a moment with over 30,000 events per year. In-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloHockey.tv to learn more and sign up today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
Hi, this is goaltender Keith Petruzzelli. Listen to Royals Hockey at home and on the go on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Don't miss out on tomorrow's regular season finale. If this score holds and Reading prevails, it will be must win for both teams coming together, and the Royals will rebrand a one night to the Reading Red Knights, trading out their orange and purple for the black and red, celebrating the local school district, Reading School District, and the Reading Red Knights return for season number 2. An exciting Saturday face-off, which could have all the marbles for both teams of their playoff hopes. And be sure to join us for the game, presented by Members First Federal Credit Union. Tickets available at royalshockey.com.
Yeah, tomorrow could be a Game 7 if the Royals are able to hold on.
Here's a shot rifled wide left of the goal, grazed off the right leg of Walters. That was Tanner Shackle delivering it towards the net. Skating behind the net. It's fed back to Shackle by Mason Clay, who was pinched into the end boards by Britt. Battles net front as Seller digs it out to center. He's got Capone, who wires it in behind the net of Bullion. And the netminder missed catching up to it. And pleasantries exchanged as the skaters part. That's Seller and Clay to their respective benches, but not without a jolly match back and forth.
Yeah, both players got their words in. Refs say, let them play.
Both teams picking up the aggressive style, looking to remain disciplined, however. Reading out shooting the Railers, 27-22. Here comes the shot, gets in on goal. Petruzzelli with the right pad, kicks it aside as labeled. Scoops and races into the zone. Throws the puck in behind the net, and then his body into the recipient of that check. It was, once again, Jordan Kaplan, the front end of it, but springs a 2-on-1. Cross-crease shot, blocked down. John Franco Casero saving today. And lacrosse sticks this puck all of the empty net bid. It was Petruzzelli playing the shooter. Ended up being the pass. Casero right down the middle. Whacked it out of midair. And like a fly swatter, takes it a game-time goal away from the Railers.
Unbelievable play right there by Gianfranco Casero. I don't know if he saw the puck, but he just flung his stick around almost in a 360 motion, putting everything on the line there, last-ditch resort, and he was able to block that one down right before it went into that open net. Unbelievable play by Casero to keep the Royals up 3-2 here with 11:45 remaining.
Moment to take note of. Shot into the safety netting. Worcester continues playing offensive zone control. They win. It's Rapace behind the net. Backhands into the goal mouth. Sticked away by Walters. What a night for the defenseman. Played at Brock University and began his professional career overseas in Czechia. Walters' 4th pro season. Acquired by the Royals back in November. Has been a staple on the back end. Is also the locker room DJ. A highly touted task, and he has delivered here since his arrival. And that comes as a testament to many Royals. As Miller offsides, not too pleased about this goal, but a neutral zone faceoff with 11:15 to go in the third. And in front of a less than pleased head coach for the result thus far, but the response for the Railers has had Nick Cizzolino a little bit more to be happy about as this game has progressed.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, it almost seemed like the game was out of hand already for the Railers, but just heart and strong will. The Railers have dug themselves out of that hole and are only down by 1 now with 11 minutes remaining.
Out the center ice, Brown to Primo. Shot. whistles over the net. Great look, and split that through the legs of the D-man. Served as a screen in front of Bullion. That being Vito Walton. And Primo just put it high and wide. Retreating behind the net, Walton slows things up for the Railers. Approaching the halfway mark of our third period. Reading leading by 1. Out shooting the Railers by 4. Sedley dropped off to Britt. Rolls out to the center ice logo here at Santander Arena. A logo that has found themselves in playoff contention last 12 of 14 seasons. Reading with a win tonight and a win tomorrow, and they're back in the Kelly Cup playoffs. After missing out on the party last year and not getting further than the first round the year prior in the 22-23 season. Backhand by Master. Catches up to his own dump-in. Scooped away by Lincoln Hatton. Springs a left wing pass. It's a shot from Massey. Chopped down by Walters. And out of play with 9:46 to go in the third. Face off in front of Petrozelli. And return back to action.
Royals have done a good job, their defensemen, with their sticks, deflecting it before the shot is available, getting in the shooting lanes, and getting it into the safety netting. Now with 9:46 here, both teams putting it all on the line as they both want to be in those Kelly Cup playoffs.
Ball's in play. A moment to recognize the following team sponsors of the Reading Royals this season. First off, our feast partners, a B2 Bistro, Mimo's, Saucony Creek, Island Pizza, While Missing Restaurant, and Craft 2700. Those restaurants all providing game day meals for team staff at every Royals home game this season. So as a recognition to the sponsors of our Reading Royals Ice Angels, of Retro Fitness, Mimo's, In-Home Oxygen, the Bell Tower, and Berkeley's Barbershop. Those stores and restaurants all supporting the 23rd season of Royals hockey. Eric Jasperger alongside Matt Marchese, happy to be with you here in game number 71 of 72 for the Royals 24-25 campaign. Those tuning in on Flow Sports, our Mixler streaming app, our in-arena broadcast on 99.3 FM, presented by Dial Dental, as well as our Flow Sports free feed tonight, courtesy of the ECHL and Flow Sports on Facebook. If you're tuning into the Mixler app, go check it out for live game coverage for tonight's game of the week. There's certainly no better pick on the slate than Royals and Railers. Here with Worcester, a win away from clinching their second franchise playoff berth. The only time they had done so in their 7 seasons as a franchise came in their first year. And they had failed to qualify for the Kelly Cup playoffs each of their last 4 seasons. Last day exits each of the last 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. That has to weigh on you big time, as the Railers do not want to have to face that similar eerie feeling that they've faced in the last 3 years. The Royals are going to look to do it to them again, and it all starts here with being able to finish out this third period to get a chance to do it tomorrow.
And one of those skaters who have been a part of all 3 of those last day nightmares for the Railers, having their season come to an end at the result of other teams as well. Most recently, it was Maine able to defeat Adirondack in their final game of the regular season in overtime that eliminated Worcester, who had just lost to Trois-Rivières, shut out on the last day. And last game of their regular season, Rapace down low, second of the night, and Rapace has tied the game. Loose scramble, Petrozelli spiraled out, and the captain gives Worcester the game-tying goal with 9:14 to go in the third. And it is now all even. And the next goal very well could be the decider of a series clinch for Worcester, or Reading able to advance one more day tomorrow.
Yeah, tough bounce right there for the Royals. They got the block originally. Looks like it was Casero who had the block originally, but there will be a penalty right away.
Penalty off the draw, a slashed stick out of the hands of Nardi, and Worcester, just as they tied the score, inflict themselves a wound with a 4th trip to the sin bin tonight, and it's Reading. Better next zone now. And Tyler Coburn, he is giving an earful and is best to sway the choice of this minor penalty ruling by Logan Gruhl, but he's having none of it.
Yeah, this power play is the most important power play of the Royals season, at least right now. This is almost a must goal by the Royals. You're up 3-0. You're now tied 3-3 as the Railers have really came to life in the second and third period. The Royals have been on their heels. Now is no better time to get back on the momentum on your side and try and take the lead right back.
The former Royal Tyler Coburn is in the box. Could he gift his former club a power play goal to put them back up? Inside 10 minutes to go in our third period. A clear down the ice by Worcester will force Reading to begin this power play attack right to left from their own zone. Calisti plays the puck from Petrozelli. Out the center, it's Ivan Mongo. Back to Primo, flicked to the far boards, out at center ice. Casero will wind it back away from Petrozelli. Tangled up behind the play was Callan and Casero. Arms stay down, we play on as Calisti reloads. Pass off to Mongo. Primo. 2 power play goals in his last 4 games. Drops to Calisti, shot gets through. Glove down with the right mitt by Michael Bullion.
Good glove save right there by Bullion, and a good look for Calisti. Looks like he shot it a little higher, hoping for a deflection. Nobody was there. It stayed all the way clean. Bullion able to see it and glove that one down and freeze the puck here with 1:13 remaining on the power play.
An undrafted goaltender, his 3rd professional season, grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, to the likes of Boston Bruins starting netminder and Four Nations Team USA goaltender and Jeremy Swayman. Good company to have. Would play locally for Malvern Prep and the Friars in the PA Prep League. Left wing. Smith fires a shot. Won't reach Bullion. Steered to the blue line. Worcester can't clear. Held in at the line by Grattan. It's spiraled out. No call, and Worcester springs it out to center. Weaving back. Forced off the puck. It's Delmas driven into the near boards, but keeps it at his skates. Royals power play down to 30 seconds as they are finally able to carve it away from the 6-1 forward. Smith. Up ice to Sedley. Dropped at the left wing. It's Miller. Drives it in behind the goal. Hard checks as the puck scales the boards. It's Nardi stepping up. Drop to Smith. One-timer. Sedley. Save off the chest by Bullion. And boy, did he see that cycled puck come all the way to him. A big stop by Bullion off a grade A tape-to-tape set of passing by the Royals. Nothing to show for.
Yeah, Bullion just great job reading the play, followed the puck the whole way through and made a strong save on that one-time shot. The Railers kill off that power play. And now time's a ticking.
Worcester 4 for 5 on the PK tonight. It's Britt. Wires a shot, goes wide of the goal. Off the mark, Walters throws it back net front. Tempo, goal save. Bullion gobbles it up with a right mitt. Austin Master on the doorstep, just could not feather it wide. 2 skaters from Catholic schools here in PA, aforementioned Malvern Prep for Michael Bullion, and a 2016 state champion with the LaSalle Explorers of Austin Master. Denied there in close by the former Friar.
Yeah, it looks like Bullion actually never saw the puck, just a strong positional save, had good position, had the big flipper out there. The puck hit it, and he was able to cover that puck up. And the Royals have luckily been able to find a little more offense here, teetering midway or almost halfway through this third period with only 6:45 remaining.
Since the first period, Reading led 3-0 and outshot the Railers 16-8. It's Worcester responding with 3 goals and outshooting the Royals here through the last 34 minutes. 3 goals and a total of 17 shots to Reading's 12. A big save by Bullion off the draw win. We know by all means the Royals, who have been outshot 77% of their games, and hoist a winning record when being outshot. It means no bounds about the shots you put up. It's all about the important stat in the game, and that, of course, is the goals at the end.
Yeah, quality over quantity. But the Royals here, 33 shots this game. Seems like after having 16 in that first period, it's been a tough go for them as the Railers have completely turned around how they were playing in that first period. From the second and third, the Railers have looked like a brand new team, and the Royals are going to have to try and find an answer with only 6:30 remaining.
Running off the draw win, a shot from Casero just rolls wide of the net. Far board slung on net by Sedley. And this one into the glove of Bullion once again.
It looks like
one of the biggest differences in his play specifically, those rebounds have come few and far in between. The glove has put to good use here for Bullion after surrendering a couple second chances for the Royals, who were able to convert back in the first. There's been nothing here really since.
In the first period, rebound control of Bullion was really struggling. Even in the second period, for half of that period, he was struggling rebounds. But now he's fully locked in here.
Reading a third straight offensive zone draw win, but another shot put on goal, fended away by the Alaska native. Buck will exit Worcester zone, and in behind the net of Petrozelli, it's Massey. Floats it blue line. A Mason Clay slap shot attempt. Blows up with the stick slashing into Brown. Turns the leg, shot kicked aside. Michael Bullion denying Brown in front, who feeds to Primo. Callisti, blue line, shot from Britt, blocked by the D-man. Runs off of Hatton. Brown recorrals, bouncing disc, net front. Another shot by Brown, another save by Bullion. The right pad, the kryptonite to Matt Brown tonight, as that was 3 consecutive Brownie shots, catching the right pillow of Bullion in net.
Yeah, couldn't ask for better shots, just good saves by Bullion.
Royals back into the attacking zone. Callisti into the goal mouth. Cook fanned on it. Rolls blue line to Britt. His shot through traffic. Pinballs just wide right of the goal. Blue line to Liebold. Sticked off the disc. It rolls out to center. Liebold fans on the chip in, but runs over a Railer in the process, as that was Peter Wallen. Third time tonight at the lace. He's on the brunt end of a Royal hit, and that's Liebold with the delivery, and a Railer taking his license plate as he makes his way to the bench.
Yeah, Liebold and Wooten have had some words for each other. Wooten was the one who took Liebold out, which caused his penalty. So those two clearly not friends with each other.
Out at center, Royals right to left, inside 5 minutes to go in the third of a tied score, 3-3. A fishhook chip in, rolls up the near side where Mongo fended away from the puck and carried in by Justin Gill. Goals in each of his last 2 games, establishing a 7-game point streak. Lost the puck, Mongo, right wing, it's Miller. Ricochet puck rolls in on net, and a glove snag once again by Bullion. Anticipating a fastball, got the changeup, but still able to see it all the way into the mitt.
Yeah, really good reactionary save by Bullion, who was expecting, like you said, a fast shot, got deflected, changed up. Able to stop his slide over and was able to glove that one down and hold the puck. He thought about playing it out, thought better, held on to it. And the Royals, all of a sudden here in these last 2 minutes of just putting the shots on, and Bullion's been up to the challenge.
A netminder who had the 10th best save percentage in the league a season ago with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. A record of 15-10-2 and 32 appearances with the ECHL affiliate of the Vegas Golden Knights. Bullion here in his season with the Railers, picking up 17 wins in 35 appearances. And that .888 save percentage, .334 goals against average, deceiving the way the last 40 minutes have gone. We saw the woes in the first, those second chance opportunities cashed in by Reading. If you take the last 40 minutes, you'd think he's up there among the tops in the league, and a save percentage more like .988 rather than below .900.
Yeah, definitely. After that tough first period, his team was really able to pick him up and score that goal, make him feel like, all right, we're still in this. And since then, they've come back strong, the Railers, tying it up, and Bullion's been a big reason as he's been able to hold the Royals off the scoreboard since that first period.
4:13 remaining in the third. Reading must win this game to keep a playoff opportunity alive tomorrow. Shot from Callan. Big stop by Petrozelli. That puck had some English to it as it was deflected into Reading zone. Ended up at the feet of Casero onto the stick blade of Anthony Callan, who put that shot a grade A test. While Petrozelli, a big left pad save, able to cover up. No rebound allowed.
Yeah, huge save by Petrozelli right there. Needed that one and made a huge one. And the Royals, 4:02 remaining here. It's the heart's racing for the players, coaches, and the fans.
It's just Worcester knocking on the door. Can Reading find that one pass to connect to the likes of Matt Brown, Tyler Gratton among their leading goal scorers on the team, or a more recent hot skater like Robert Callisti, who skates at the blue line, 3 goals in his last 4 games. Out the center, Smith fires to Walters, cross the blue line. Walters shot, redirects away from Kaplan. Bouillon follows and beats Sedley to the puck. Dangerous play, but he's had the edge in terms of saves and also able to beat out Sedley for that puck. Cleared it to the neutral zone where Smith intercepts, pass over to Brown, who tried to knife his way past Jordan Kaplan and company, but comes up short. Back out the center. Worcester clears. Reading takes it away. Right back to Klee. Shot. Glove save. Petrozelli flagging this down with the left glove. And it's Reading just having that bounce fall away from their possession. It turns into another shot for Worcester. Fortunately, Petrozelli able to once again come up with a big stop.
Yeah, huge glove save right there by Petrozelli. That one was put on a rope by Justin Gill. He just fired that one, no questions asked, and Petrozelli made a huge save here. 3:07 remaining. Both teams looking for that goal.
Riding up to 40 shots into the game. They have done so, going north of 40 shots just 3 prior times this season. And despite those outings, Reading is only victorious in 1 of the 3 games when going this much in the shot department. Once again, back to that saying, quality over quantity. And here for Worcester with 27 shots of their own, have the last 3 goals, looking to make it 4 straight and take their first lead on the night. A stoppage on a offsides goal. 2:44 remaining in the third. And a face-off in front of head coach and general manager Jason Binkley, who looks on with some sense feeling, or rather lack thereof. A bit of a yawn by Binkley. He seems collected and he seems awfully confident in his team's ability to respond back after a 3-goal exploding first period has gone silent here since. Wish I could be as calm as that right now for Reading's bench boss.
Cool, calm, collected.
Here's a shot from the blue line, wide to left of Petrozelli's goal. Off the end boards, rolls net front. Worcester can't take the bounce and put a shot on net, similar to the way they scored their second of the night. Out the center, Mongo skates with Miller. Seam pass to Nardi. Tries to churn this through the legs of an E-man going step for step with him. That's Connor Welsh, who tracks down Nardi and takes it away into Worcester's possession, but a icing on the railers will give Reading an offensive zone draw with 1:43 to go in the third.
Yeah, not a good icing by the railers. Huge offensive zone draw here for the Royals. A must win to try and get some offensive zone pressure on here in the final 1:43 seconds. Put some shots on Michael Bouillon and try and take a 4-3 lead late here in the third.
At a point in the game where next goal could be the decider. And as the Royals have been accustomed to this season, post-regulation hockey is looming. Royals looking to avoid having to get there. They are 1-0 against Worcester this season in post-60-minute affairs. A shootout win over the Railers in Worcester back on January the 3rd, the first game of the calendar year. A stick by Callisti, trying to corral it to himself. He rolls back through his skates. Fortunately, Primo, the Cavalry coming in, reinforces Callisti's forced turnover. But Primo gives it away to the last skater you want, and Anthony Rapace. Shot on goal, save Petrozelli, and holds on for the whistle. My goodness. Rapace, at 30 years of age, going 0 to 100. A full sprint from the red line to the goal line, and a shot in title. Petrozelli, KP with the answer.
Yeah, he put on the barn burners right there, Rapace, but Petrozelli, good positional save, gave Rapace no angle to shoot that puck. But a tense moment here in the final minute, 15 seconds. Petrozelli was up for the challenge Rapace just gave him there.
Reading able to win the important draw back from their own zone, but we'll do it over again as Britt ices the puck. A minute 8 remaining in the third. 40 shots for Reading, 28 for Worcester. A handful of blue and orange down along the glass as Worcester faithful making their trip to Berks County. And cheer on their captain who steps in for this faceoff with 2 goals bagged tonight. He has 4 pro career hat tricks, one of which against the Royals. Reading looking to avoid handing him a second. And what would be a playoff clinch for the Railers. Hard check by Leibold. And he puts Mason Clay's number into the Royals bench. Big hit delivered. And Reading able to win this puck away. Grant's pass out of reach of Seller. Forced to be called up to behind the goal. Seller hat trick himself against the Railers. The last Royal to net 3 goals in a game. Here in this barn on December the 15th, 2 seasons ago. Seller a goal tonight. A part of Reading's 3-goal first period. It's been 3 goals from Worcester since. Final half minute of our third. Rapace on the ice. Beat to the puck by Casero, who goes back and forth. Pass through the crease intended for Rapace, who fires a shot off the apron of the net. Behind the goal, 12 seconds from overtime. A battle behind the net. Liebel tied up. Trying to eat up the final seconds. In behind Petrozelli's goal for the second time this season. And with a season of playoff hockey on the line, the Royals are off to overtime. And it comes against the Railers with our score tied at 3 after 60. The point means zilch for the scenario. Reading must win both games. The point for Worcester will just tack on to their points now at 76 on the season, but means nothing should Reading win here in overtime and then force a deciding Game 72 tomorrow for that 4th and final playoff spot. Only fitting to have some drama here late in our first of 2 this weekend.
Yeah, it's a tense time here. You can feel it in the stadium, the fans holding their breath, hoping the Royals are able to close this one out after starting this game up 3-0 with an electric first period. Since then, it's been I shouldn't even say all Railers, because the Royals have been able to get the shots, but the Railers have really found their groove and were able to tie this game up 3-3. And now, the most important overtime of the Royal season is coming up.
Worcester played beyond 60 minutes just 5 days ago as they played in a 3-2 overtime loss to Adirondack in their latest game on Sunday for the Royals. They played 5 games ago in overtime and waged victorious. Reading in post-regulation games this season, a record of 5-11. They are 2-9 in games decided in overtime. Winless in those overtime game decisions here at home, 0-6 in that position for Worcester. This is game number 19 of post-regulation hockey. They are 9-3. Flip those numbers, and it goes into the advantage of the visitors, who overall in post-regulation affairs are 11-7. At center ice, Reading left to right, Keith Petrozelli, 26 saves on 29 shots faced. His counterpart has been exceptional. And a response after allowing 3 goals on 8 shots in the first. He has stopped 37 of 40 tonight. And it all comes down for which netminder breaks first. Royals win the very important opening draw back. Left to right they skate. Sedley will command court, while Brown and Primo are the forwards waiting for the puck. A pass this way to Brown. Out on the ice for Worcester, Justin Gill, who skates on a 7-game point streak, including an assist tonight. It's Connor Welsh and the former Royal Jordan Kaplan, right wing to Sedley. It's a shot on net and a save by Bullion. He was cheating that cross-crease pass, ended up holding just enough position to punch the shot away from Sedley and keep the puck from reaching the back of the net. Offsides on Worcester. Slows up and lends us to a neutral zone face-off. Sedley almost netting his second overtime game-winning goal this season. One of the two Royals to do so. John Franco Casero, the other.
Yeah, huge chance right there. Sedley nearly caught Bouillon leaning, had some open net. Bouillon throwing that blocker out there to block that one away. And now an all-important draw once again.
Face off in front of the penalty box doors. One back, it's Mongo. Miller, who opened the scoring 11 seconds into play. Drops off to the Gatineau, Quebec native, Yvonne Mongo. Behind the net. Is pestered by McDonald, and now takes Mongo's stick in his left hand. No call. Casero able to play the leftovers. Miller fires. Bullion squeezing the pillows. Holds on for the face-off. Reading wanting a call. Won't get it as Mongo was tangled up and nearly doing a tango with McDonald, who holds position and able to get away perhaps with a no call.
Yeah, it was definitely very close. Borderline hooking right there. Refs decided to let them play on, and Bouillon just able to close his legs and close up that 5-hole and not let that puck squeak through.
Reading 1-0 in post-regulation games with Worcester this season. It's the second time in 8 meetings these two clubs have gone beyond 60 minutes here in the 24-25 campaign. Shootout win for the Royals on January the 3rd. Reading 5-2 in the season series with the Railers this season. Looking for a all-important 6th win as Callisti hits speed and is bumped off the puck. Tried to sidestep his way around Callan, but the 6'2 forward from Wisconsin drops out the attack, and it's Rapace in the attacking zone. His fluttered shot looking for a start of the night. Fended off by Petrozelli. Royals into the zone. It's Cook. Slot shuttle goal. Saved by Bullion. And he's going to elect to hold on for the puck. No Royal was even in the vicinity as they were just nearly one stride across the blue line. Bullion doesn't give it up, and a very friendly quick whistle will give Reading an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, definitely a mistake by Bouillon. It looks like he wanted to play it originally with his stick, but the puck was on edge, and he couldn't get the puck to bounce the way he wanted, so he held it up. But still, the Royals are so far away, and the refs decided to blow the whistle on Bouillon, so an all-important face-off.
Royals looking to convert. It is one back by the Railers. And Connor Welsh begins to pursue. Former Trois-Rivières Lion, who feeds Matthew Copperwood behind the goal. Led all Sun Devil forwards in goals during Arizona State University's season a year ago, where he was teammates with current Royal Tyler Gratton, both top 2 in goals. Smith feeds to Sedley at the blue line. Left wing to Nardi. Cycles into the slot. Nardi saucer past Sedley. Looks straight to the blue line where Smith steps up. Smith fires over the goal. Puts a dent in the glass. And possession back over to Worcester.
Smith wishing he hit the net on that shot. Going to be kicking himself about missing that one, but a good look right there.
Third on the team in goals with 15. He had a goal 42 seconds remaining in regulation on Wednesday. Brought the Royals within 1, but short of a come-from-behind victory on Wednesday. Smith, a whisker high from giving the Royals the all-important victory tonight. Hard check. And that's labeled once again, making his presence felt. Blowing up Justin Gill and gives the puck over to Gran. Knifing, cutting, Gran behind the goal. Wraps it to the near side, won't pull the trigger. Skates blue line. And out the center. Not the look, wise play for Tyler Gran in his first full professional season. Restarts the attack, leading all Royals in goals with 19. Cuts into the slot, his shot. Takes an awkward carom and dribbles wide left of the goal. Almost a knuckleball beating Bullion. Well, the shot ends up off the mark, and Kaplan corrals for the Railers. Backhand to center. Mason Clay has space. Skates up on his left stick handle. Goes to the blue line. Where it's played in deep by Callan. Step for set with him is Brown. Hard check delivered by the Boston University Terrier. A shot wired, goes wide of the net. Outskirt of the cage, they whack at it. It's by Petrozelli's goal where the netminder able to corral the puck. Freeze play with 3:06 to go in overtime. 43 shots for Reading, 30 for Worcester. And a playoff life on the line for the Royals, who must win tonight to force a chance at clinching a playoff berth tomorrow.
A good play by Petrozelli right there, not taking any chances. Found that loose puck, used his stick, pulled it close, and held it up to freeze it and get a draw as the Railers were biting right there.
Ivan Mongo on the ice, wins the puck to Miller. Feeds back to Sedley. Had the first overtime game-winning goal for the Royals this season, who had been 0 for 9 before Sedley's goal in Fort Wayne back in March. He's on the ice with Miller and Mongo. Mongo feeds down front. Miller unable to chip this puck on goal as it bounces over his stick. Sedley able to play the loose puck. And possession held by Reading. Backpedaling out at center. Now back into the zone. Mongo to Miller. The two trash together. Worcester able to get up ice, but not with the odd man rush, as Mongo quickly skated back and put numbers in front of Rapace, who sends a shot from the left dot into the belly of Petrozelli. Holds on once again. 2:21 remaining in overtime.
Tough one right there between Mongo and Miller, just running into each other, giving up that good opportunity that Miller was going to have, but great job by Mongo to back up, reset, and get back to not allow the odd man rush, and Petrozelli, solid save.
A hero required here in downtown Reading for the Royals. Nardi wins the draw back to Casero as Reading, with 2 minutes to go in overtime, begins their gallop left to right, head full of steam. It's Smith. Stops at the left face-off circle. Given off to Casero. Takes a lap around Worcester zone. Will end off to Nardi, left face-off circle. Nardi with his numbers facing Bullion. Now pivots for Casero. Cutting to the left dot. Pass too close for Smith to handle. Able to shovel it to Casero. Down low, backhand, diving, blocking play, and a game saver potentially. That was Donhauser laying out, sticking the puck intended for Nardi on the doorstep by Casero from the blue line. Back cross crease. Donhauser out of the reach of this pass across the blue paint of Petrozelli's crease. Both teams getting looks on those odd man rushes, neither able to cash in.
Yeah, definitely both good looks by both teams.
Final minute 15 of overtime. Klee cuts around Sedley, however can't step up around the 21-year-old defenseman. Sedley remains poised in front. Klee sends a weak shot in on net. Petrozelli throws the right leg out and gobbles it up, leaving 63 seconds to go in overtime. Flirting with our second shootout of the season between these two clubs.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a battle between both teams not wanting to give up anything, and both goalies have been standing on their head in this overtime period so far.
Final minute of overtime. Royals in front of Petrozelli win the draw. Here comes Matt Brown. 2 overtime game-winning goals this season to go. Puts a shot on net, save, rebound. A second ever kicked away. Michael Bullion once again up to the task against the ever-dangerous Matt Brown. Not once, but twice on that sequence.
Yeah, just standing tall right there is Michael Bullion.
Worcester takes over. 40 seconds to go in the extra frame. Wrist shot. Save. Petrozelli holds on for the whistle. And a loud exhale from the crowd as Justin Gill cocked back that shot, rifled it on goal. And Petrozelli, however, makes the stop once more. 32 seconds. Yeah. Here remaining in overtime. On the ice, Mongo
draw for both teams here.
Squared at the shoulders with Kaplan. Kaplan wins it back. Rapace and Welsh, the top two offensive contributors for this Railers club on the ice. It's Kaplan up the left wing. Takes it behind the goal. As Brett able to hold him off from getting in net front. Drop to Welsh. His shot snared down by Petrozelli. 9 seconds left in overtime, and another face-off draw to the left of Petrozelli in net.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for the Royals to really get any offense with 9 seconds left. So the Royals' best plan of action here is to try and win it into the corner and just pin it there for the final 9 seconds and try and take it into shootout, unless somehow you find a quick opening that can spring a breakaway chance.
Petrozelli, a 5-1 record in his 6 lifetime starts in must-win games to keep his team's playoff hopes alive. All 6 have come in the 2022 Kelly Cup playoffs. It'll now be here tonight, required in a shootout.
Yeah, no.
Miller skates out the final seconds. And it's now a must-needed victory in the skills competition for Reading, with their playoff life flickering and not looking to have it blown out.
Yeah, goalie versus shooter here, one-on-one hockey. And like you said, either somebody on the Royals is going to keep them pushing for a chance for the playoffs tomorrow, or somebody on the Railers will send them to their second postseason.
Petrozelli facing 34 shots through 60 minutes. And then the 7 minutes of overtime has stopped 31 of the 34. Opposite crease, Michael Bullion, who steps in goal with 42 saves on 45 shots faced tonight. Petrozelli will face Worcester's opening attacker in Ryan Amashi, a teammate of Shane Sellers at RPI. He'll begin the shootout, where the Royals must win to keep their postseason aspirations alive. Petrozelli, 1 shootout this season as a Royal. He stopped both shots he faced. A 3-2 win for the Royals back on January the 25th. It was Smith and Brown with the shootout winners. It begins with Petrozelli against Massey. Massey shot, blocker save, Petrozelli.
Good aggressive save by Petrozelli. Went way out of his crease, never backed down. Huge save.
No hesitation. It is the skillful Matt Brown leading off the Royals in the bottom of the first. Right to left, he'll skate on Michael Bullion, a native of Anchorage, Alaska, against the Woodridge, New Jersey kid. Brown pivots, shot, scores! And fist bumps to the crowd. The Royals on the board in the shootout.
Great move right there by Matt Brown. Did a little around the world and put it above glove side.
Connor Welsh steps up. Second on the team in points. First in assists. He'll need a goal in the top of the second to tie things up. Welsh shot. Petrozelli squeezing the pads. Falling back towards his crease, but holds it out.
Wow. What a job by Petrozelli to close the pad, fall on his back to not let that one squeak through. A goal here wins it for the Royals.
To force a deciding Game 72 tomorrow, it's Joe Nardi. Goes wide right, in on Bullion. Nardi, forehand, shot, glove save, and Bullion keeps the aspirations alive for Worcester, who now must score. And they'll lend to their captain, the franchise leader in goals, and has 2 bagged tonight. It's Anthony Rapace, a goal to force running into round 4 of the shootout. Wide left, Rapace against Petrozelli. Fires, saved by Petrozelli, and the Royals stave off elimination and live one more day.
What a glove save right there by Petrozelli. I'll tell you what a game we have just witnessed tonight. The Railers fighting back from what seemed like an unfathomable way, and the Royals able to come into the shootout, win it, and force a win or go home game tomorrow for both teams.
Mobbing Keith Petrozelli in net, deservedly so. The season lives and the playoffs a win away for your Reading Royals as they take down the Worcester Railers 4-3 in a shootout. The exclamation, a flashing left mid save by Keith Petrozelli on Anthony Rapace.
I'll tell you what a job by Petrozelli in that shootout. Aggressive to the shooters the whole way, didn't give them any angles, was up for the challenge every time, and made great saves to give them a chance to go to the Kelly Cup playoffs tomorrow with a win.
7 start in an elimination game. Petrozelli improving to 6-1. He has won both of his shootout games this season with Reading. And no better time to pick up a 13th win on the year for the third round draft pick of the Detroit Red Wings back in 2017, allowing 2 goals to Rapace tonight. Justice serves sweet in the shootout as he denies the captain of the Railers when it matters most. And the Royals prevail into game number 72 tomorrow. With their playoff life, it was flickering, but still remains hot.
Yeah, it was flickering there, but got reignited with the big saves by Petrozelli. And like you said, a win tomorrow, and the Royals are in the Kelly Cup playoffs.
We'll have our 3 stars announced in a moment. Slap shot leading the dance party at center ice as the Royals are dancing into game number 72 tomorrow, where both teams will play for their life to go beyond number 72. It all comes down the winner tomorrow, and the final seat at the table is secured. The loser, early bags packed for the offseason. More on tonight's 4-3 win to bring us to tomorrow. A shootout victory on the other side of a final word from our broadcast sponsors and league partners on the Royals Broadcast Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 37th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Barron Rings, official championship ring supplier; Bellevue University, official higher education partner; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2025 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2025 ECHL Hockey Heritage Weekend. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Check the pulse, and boy, if you love drama, you had it delivered tonight. Reading able to stave off elimination for at least another 24 hours from the Kelly Cup playoffs, as it is a 4-3 victory in the shootout. Matt Brown converting for the Royals in the bottom of the first, and that was the only goal tallied in the skills competition. Keith Petrozelli, perfect 3 for 3, holds off Ryan Massey, Connor Welsh, and Anthony Rapace. Those last 2, the top horses for this Railers offense, and left empty-handed when it matters for Worcester. Late, who you give all the credit to, a 3-0 deficit after 1. They could have bagged it. They could have just looked to tomorrow and said, we'll handle things and come out fresh. They fought tooth and nail back. They send us beyond regulation into